Welcome to another overtime every time workout training session. We're gonna go to the mountain. Gonna put this backpack on. Let's go rock and roll. He's got about 44 pounds, and he got some food, got some toilet paper, and got a just in case. It has that. It's not really a coat, but it's like a kind of like a coat, but it's thinner. So anyways, rock and roll on this second day for my fellow Thelemites, for the butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks. From my neighborhood here in NWO, we're gonna go to the mountain and back. Fast pace, rock and roll overtime every time vlog, working with this laptop. We're gonna go overtime every time. Welcome to my neighborhood. NDG from my neighborhood here. From the Dragon's Lair, not far from here. A little bit out west, where the sun gonna set. The sun, my Pope, the King, always rises, always sets. I got myself on a budget. I had $10, so I had to budget a little bit, but got myself some toilet paper, some deodorant was on special, and got myself on special a little bit of that sweet, because you know I love sweet. Anyways, encouraging all to work out, train, exercise. Working out, training, exercising has been, is, and will be my medicine and therapy of choice. And you gotta turn your heads left and right, left and right when you cross the street, just like this, just to make sure, because now I'm in the public. I got added responsibilities, duties, and obligations, which if I would have stayed in my underground lair, would have not been the same. But now I stepped out, getting that intense workout, because you know, fitness, sports, and working out, training, and exercising, and hiking to the mountain with a backpack and boots. It's one of my obsessions as an Aspie with amnesia, double A, rah, rah, rah. Retrograde amnesia. Aspie with philosopher, geopolitical analyst, and theorist, encouraging and calling for all to support the theories, my trinity of theories, and of course the mass financing of citizens across North America to work out, train, exercise via public-private partnership. Right here from the Dragon's Lair, gonna leave, gonna depart. We're gonna be heading out to the mountain on this beautiful day. I think it reached 13, maybe 14. We're gonna go up again, but nonetheless, a beautiful spring day. So encouraging all to work out, train, exercise, which has been, is, will be my medicine and therapy of choice. I see somebody doing a little public gardening, and you know, I did a little bit of urban farming myself a few years back, just before COVID, like 3 times. I think 2017, 18, 19, just the year before. So I'm always admiring the urban farming. Turn your heads left and right before you cross the street, to add a dimension, of course, of responsibilities, which of course under the normal course of circumstance would have not been the same, but now I'm in the public, so I got added responsibilities, duties, and obligations, when if I would have stayed in my Dragon's Lair, would have not been the same, and I would have had less obligations, less duties, less responsibilities. Now I got for my security, my liberty, and my work, I'm working with the laptop. Sometimes you got to work with the tools you're given, and once again I encourage all to work out, train, exercise, and we're gonna go from here, from the urban jungle, one might say, to from my neighborhood all the way to the mountain in nature. So you're gonna get that contrast, and of course nature and civilization got to work together. And driving on these boots, corner of Beaconsfield here, and the Maisonneuve, you got that train right there. So saluting the train conductors, the firefighters, LOV to the train conductors, firefighters, warehouse workers, always immersed 24/7 with everything that's going on across North America, the North American civilizational complex, and making sure I cross the road safely. And you see, still got a little pile of that snow right there, so that's slowly melting, but it's gonna get that dirt on it. So rock and roll, you know, I'm a rock and roll philosopher, rock and roll artist, rock and roll athlete, open for business, financially struggling, but got trillions of kisses, and let's take a little bit of back alley. Let's go. Take a little back alley here. Go zigzag a little bit, you know. Take a back alley, explore a little bit my neighborhood, and I gotta say those are some good, and got a little bit of color here. But these ones are really well made, which you're gonna see here. But of course, I gotta say my gratitude, grateful, thankful. One, my rent paid, electricity bill paid, got food, got coffee, rent paid, electricity bill paid, got food, got coffee, and got myself on a budget, a little sweets, a little deodorant, and of course admiring these beautiful here in my neighborhood. NDG here, beautiful. A little bit of jungle, and I like the contrast, like that bee. You know, bees rock and roll, and should have let it not scroll over it because it was good art, but somebody of course did a little bit of art over it and scribbled, whatever the case. But look at this beautiful butterfly right here. What a beautiful butterfly. That's a beautiful butterfly, beautiful maple leaf. So you got a lot of art, so we got to encourage those who can do art like this. You know, it's sometimes you write over it, but anyway, somebody who wrote over it, you can just improve your skills, and then we can finance people like that to do that. You know, super important. As I going out to the back alley to as an artist myself, but more of a rock and roll artist than poetry. Poet, write rock and roll songs, rock and roll for the butchers, farmers, bakers, construction workers, 24/7. For those changing the aqueducts, the nurses love rock and roll for the nurses, rock and roll for the butchers, train conductors, bakers, and all those electricians and the plumbers, and of course all those involved now in the warehouse work and train conductors across North America. North Americans United. I'm celebrating that second day of the writing of the Book of the Law, and myself starting anew, you know, starting fresh, moved to a better place. That's how I remember, because I got that retrograde amnesia. So just remember moving from a moldy place and being depressed and suicidal. Started working out, training, and exercising, and working out, training, and exercising has been, is, and will be my medicine and therapy of choice. So the event which made me come out of depression and being suicidal when I crossed Canada coast to coast. First I went to Vancouver, BC, British Columbia, 3.5 days by bus. Then I came back, and of course I went out east. 25 hours and 44 minutes, 25 hours and 44 minutes, 25 hours and 44 minutes. And of course I went out east and getting on that train, so that was good. So it's always on that rock and roll double trouble, and right here, grateful, thankful. Although financially stressed, I am financially stressed. I am financially stressed, $10,500 in debt, but what is money but to buy, sell? That's from my DRT best now. So I've discussed it, we'll discuss it again, that I firmly believe, you know, that my DRT, standing for Debt Refusion Theory, is the only solution now across Canada, coast to coast, calling for all to support the implementation thereof. And once again, grateful, thankful. Paid my rent for the month of April. It's April 9 today, April 9. Paid my rent, paid my electricity bill, got food and coffee, and going on the zigzag on these alleys here across NDG. We're gonna go on that up. See a little bit of zigzag. Gonna go to the mountain, to the top from the bottom, and always good when I work out. I feel much better. I was a bit moody, and you know, I went to change some of those cans, you know, the cans. And the machine wasn't working. Somebody was there. The other machine stopped working. So I went in another place and there was nobody, and I got cleared away. So then I started working out, and now I feel much better. But nonetheless, I said, hey, gotta think about the public workers. See, they're there picking up the garbage. Those who pick up the compost, and those are athletes. See them there on the car. Gotta give a thank you. Gotta give a thank you and a shout out, you know, to those who pick up the garbage, pick up the compost, and of course to those who get on that compost and the recycling. Super important to note, civilization is a privilege, you know, so we gotta get it on the drum, getting on the drill. So it's super important to exercise, and right here gonna switch on the sides, and we're gonna go on the parallels, you know, we're gonna get on that parallels, and we're gonna go all the way to the mountain. So that's what we gotta go do. Saluting the public workers, and all those involved in the production, distribution of food, you know, and gotta get that gratitude 24/7. Super important to be grateful. As I'm gonna discard some garbage here for those who are gonna pick up the garbage, you know, pick up the garbage, pick up the compost. Gonna traverse the street, support the DRT 24/7, CIT, citizen integration theory. And of course the Dragon Army public-private partnership via the implementation of my trinity of theories. Here's my bank, RBC, with that lion on it. You know, I'm $10,000, 500 in debt, but I got some food at home, I got coffee, and I got some money for, you know, food emergencies. But even if I don't buy food, I can stretch it out for a few days for sure. So I got food. Food security we gotta know that food security starts with our farmers, so we gotta get that salute. The farmers, the bakers, the butchers, the nurses, all those involved in the production distribution of food. You know, it's like cross over to the street, sing XYZ, and going on the up. You know, gonna go on the upside and gonna go on the drill. We're gonna go by Westmount. Gonna go zigzag it a little bit. Gonna go on that zigzag XYZ and gonna get on that drill. You know, it's always 24/7 rock and roll for the butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, and grocery store clerks, and all involved in the production, distribution of food. Gotta discard some more garbage. So I always feel joyous when I work out, train, exercise, and it's good for the body. You know, and we gotta mass invest in people to work out, to train, and to exercise. So good wonders for the body, for the mind, for the spirit. You know, we got the public works to set up this nice place here. See, you got nice benches. So the public works got to be maintenance. You know, gotta salute those public workers who, of course, take care of it. You know, because it's upkeep. So we gotta turn our heads left and right, and then we gotta drive it right through. You know, drive it all the way. So I want to keep the main road, because if I keep the main road, well, that's gonna be a little bit on that problematic, keeping the main road. You know, so I'm gonna switch again on these roads right here. But once again, as always, I gotta repeat. Grateful, thankful, rent's paid my rent for the month of April, paid my electricity bill, got food and coffee, and you know, although financially stressed, I gotta be grateful. And today's I march for my Thelemites, those who allowed Thelema, second day feasting on the budget. When I go back and I get me myself, maybe if they still find some pizza on the budget, or reduced by 156 each, so that's $3 something off. So gotta get that, grateful for that, rock and roll. So gotta meditate now, as I always meditate, everything that's transpiring across that North America, Canada, US, Mexico, you know, from the kindergartens. Hopefully somebody reading some good books. Financial constraints made me have the impediment to publish my children's books, but I'm still writing, and I've written in the past years, you know, children's books, poetry, rock and roll songs, and I'm proud to say that I created a very good workout training program system which requires no equipment. My workout training program system requires no equipment, and of course it's simple, effective, and efficient. Increases general overall fitness. Myself, I've performed more than 375 sessions of it. So more than 372, whatever. More than 372 for sure. Sessions of it. More than 372 for sure. 372 for sure. More than that. It could be exactly 372, but I'm sure I've done more. I've done more than it, but in its raw sense, in the official General War Integrated Total Body Training System, which has some rules and regulations, and of course, which I've created myself. So, see, just gotta take that off, and this gotta go to the garbage. See, this gotta go to the garbage, because of course this can damage. See, I'm gonna throw this to the garbage somewhere, and this has to go to the garbage, of course, because it is problematic. I found this, so for added safety, see, this can be damaging somebody's car. It could be kids, and this could pierce the car, make a car to flip. So this is danger on the road. So I gotta discard it myself. So did the added trouble? See, it's pointy. I found it on the road, right on that road right there. So I gotta take care of myself and discard it myself, you know, because it is possible that the car will transperse and get it on the X, get it on the Y. So see, I gotta salute those public workers right there. But nonetheless, see, if you find things like this was right on the road when I crossed the street, so it would have went into the car, it would have damaged. And see, we got those public workers there. You see the public workers, you know, they're the ones who are gonna get that public work. And, see, gotta give them a salute. They're athletes. We're gonna put something. Hey, merci beaucoup. Merci pour le service. On vous apprécie. Ciao. We appreciate them, and gotta salute public workers. They get a little bit of a rock and roll, and we gotta salute them for your service, keeping clean, you know. We got clean public works to keep the clean on our road. So I said a little bit of French. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Merci pour votre service. Thank you for your service. Because it's public service. We can't have everything private. We gotta have a balance within the public and the private. And now with the private debt that we're paying, it's gonna be the most. You know, the most. So we gotta get that public and the private. It's not everything about the public. It's not everything about the private. Now I'm in the public. You know, I got rules of conduct in the public, which I don't have under the normal circumstances of life, right? I don't have it under the normal circumstances of life. Right here, I have it. So you turn your heads left and right before you cross the street, just to make sure. You never know. The brakes might malfunction. Brakes malfunction. That malfunction. Gotta get that malfunction, you know, so it's possible. See, so I'm just gonna discard it, put it to the garbage, and I did my part maybe to, you know, get safer on the roads. If I had children and bumped into the tire, would have maybe caused an inconvenience. So sharp objects on the road, you know, if can cause damage to the cars. You know, I don't drive; I take public transit, but nonetheless, it can damage the others, and we got a responsibility, right, in the public. Now I'm in the public, so no longer the same rules apply, right? If I would have stayed home, it would have been a different ball game, right? If it would have been a different ball game, I would have stayed home. I would have had less responsibilities, duties, and obligations. Less responsibilities, duties, and obligations. Less responsibilities, duties, and obligations. If I would have stayed home, right? So now that I am in the public, I'm gonna take the public park and gonna check that Rock&Roll, see if it's, what's the name, Parc Notre Dame de Grâce. So in that Parc Notre Dame de Grâce here, you know, we got different responsibilities, different duties, different obligations. So it's always important, you know, to mention, and gonna discard some more garbage as I go, of course, all the way up, and I go all the way to the mountain, and being grateful as I go with it, you know. See, you got a little bit of that, a little bit of a children's playground, you know, and you got that hawk. So you got that hawk with the spread wings, and see the hawk clearing the way all the way to the mountain. We got more hawks, but that is a HAWK. Let's see if I can get it to sing a little bit of that melody. But see, with the spread wings right there, that's a hawk, baby. Hawk Island, Montreal, you're in. HAWK, you see the hawk going 2:56 p.m. Spotted. That HAWK, now it's through D. Where is it gonna go? Is it gonna go to the mountain, greet me at the top? Hawk Island, Montreal. Spray of wings, yeah, I think it's going to the mountain also. Could be, maybe not. Possibly, perhaps. Speculations aside, whatever the case may be, you can speculate, but that was the beautiful, majestic hawk. 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 The hawk, man. Well, it seems like you're flying to the mountain. Maybe I got 7 seconds. Just gonna wait for the other. I'm not gonna rush it. I decided not to rush it, so we're gonna wait a little bit here in the sun, and gonna do some stretches and march a bit towards the sun and come back. So I want to get that spot right there. I want to see what that is. I just want to see my hawk. There's my hawk, HAWK, with the spread wings. See? Oh, there's another hawk. There's 2 hawks. You got that double trouble. Where's the third? HAWK. Those are the hawks. See? Hawks, HAWK. That's Hawk Island. See? With those spread wings. You can see the hawk going. And you gotta look up, though. You gotta look up sometimes to the sky, you know. And gotta look up to that sky, and gotta get that blue, and gotta go on that meditate, you know. We gotta go on that meditate right there, the hawk. So sorry, a couple right there. See, hawk. Let's go. 3, 2, and 1. There's the hawk in the sky. You can see it turning in the trees and the blue and the hawk. You can see that's the hawk. Hey, there we go. We're gonna capture, and that's the hawk, man. That's the hawk. Right. You can see the hawks, man. Now I'm gonna get a little bit of that hawk. See, that's the hawk. My favorite bird, so I'm a bit on the inspired side, you know, a bit on digress, you know, a bit on the distracted, because hawks are my favorite birds. So when I see a hawk spread wings, and I always get captivated by the beauty of the hawks and the majesty, right? Anyways, that was a good hawk. So waiting now for the light. What time is it? 2:59, 1:44 seconds to 3, 44 seconds to 3, 44 seconds to 3, and oh yeah, I see that one right there. I see the hawk. Now I'm gonna cross, go to the mountain. Maybe we're gonna see it to the mountain. On the mountain, the hawk. We go east. Love your shirt. Had that rainbow shirt, and the fellow citizen smiled and said hello like that. And then I said, "Love your shirt." Probably saw me smiling. And no, I'm not on drugs. I got Aspie, and I feel good when I work out, train, exercise. It's my medicine and therapy of choice, and have been and will call for the mass financing thereof of citizens to work out, to train, and to exercise. And working out, training, exercising, turn your heads left and right when you cross the street. And super important to salute the truckers now. Truckers on the road, delivering the goods. Services, big trucks. 3 o'clock. To the mountain we go like the hawk. 3 o'clock. To the mountain we go like the hawk. 3 o'clock. To the mountain we go like the hawk. 3 o'clock. To the mountain we go like the hawk. Saluting the truckers and the firefighters. We love our firefighters, love our truckers, love our butchers, love our bakers, love our nurses, love our doctors, love our grocery store clerks, love those involved in the production and the distribution of food. And we love our nurses, love our public workers, those picking up the garbage every week, the compost, the recycling. Big respect, Rock&Roll, LOV. Our firefighters right here saluting. Big rainbow Rock&Roll. We love our firefighters. We love our butchers, love our firefighters, love our nurses, love our doctors. Ambulance drivers, cooks. Truckers, nurses, daycare workers. And somebody gotta love that public security. Sing some little bit of that Rock&Roll. They need it too. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. Hey, thank you, Public Works. For the public work right here, changing some aqueducts. Season started. Rock&Roll for the public workers, giving them a little bit of peace. Of that to go drill. So we got a lot of infrastructure work to do. See, public infrastructure right there, and we gotta go for the drill as we go to the mountains. So gonna say my gratitude again. Gotta say my gratitude again, grateful, thankful that my rent's paid, electricity bill's paid, got food and coffee, and nice other public workers, and doing a little bit of digging of the holes. Maybe they're changing some aqueducts, sewers, or rehabilitation of the roads, you know. I got 10 seconds to cross. 7:65, plenty of time, but still, even if I got that light, 1 second made it just in time, still turn my head left and right, because you never know. You never know. Brakes might malfunction. Citizen driver might press the accelerator instead of the brake. So these are all possibilities which of course can occur. The possibility of occurrences is a big possibility, in the manner that I've spoken, of course, that it is possible for the brakes and all that to malfunction, not work properly. And you know, I'm not perfect, far from it. You know, sometimes I get moody, get upset, but what works for me is really working out, training, exercising. And see, right here I'm in the public, and I gotta watch out for my fellow citizens, their security, their safety, with my security, my safety, and my work. Although, you know, I work with this laptop, a little bit on that crazy side. Sometimes you gotta use the tools you're given, the tools you work with. First and foremost, the mind, body, and spirit. When you invest by working out, training, exercising, you invest in the body, the mind, body, and spirit. So you invest the mind, body, and spirit, and you invest in the mind, body, and spirit. You know, so it's always good to get that drill and get it all the way to the mountain and driving in on different paces. And I'm always grateful, thankful, and always open for business, you know, and always meditating what's happening now from the bless you, from the daycares, somebody changing diapers, reading some books, French and English. We're gonna switch to that French because we're in La Belle Province, and reading a little bit of French, and it's always good. It's the great linguistic compromise which we made, you know. That's why he's a philosopher, because I'm an Aspie, got that Asperger, so I got my obsessions. One of it is civilizational studies, along with sports. Dancing is my favorite sport, and I love hockey, basketball, boxing, and gridiron, North American football, and fitness, all things related to fitness. You know, so yeah, I turn my head left and right, even if it's one way, because you never know. It's possible that the brakes malfunction, so that's a possibility of occurrence, you know. It's possible for things of that nature to occur when dealing with crossing the street. And I want to say, interject, of course, that if I know somebody who deserves to live in a house like this, it is, of course, my anonymous sister friend, greatest woman I know. And I'm a Swiftie, but got love for you, Taylor Swift. But my anonymous sister friend deserves to be 7 times richer than you, Taylor. The number after 6 before 8 is 7. And my anonymous sister friend deserves to be 7 times richer than Taylor Swift, Beyonce, and Oprah. So right here, if I make $1 million, gonna give her half. If I make $1 billion, gonna give her half. If I make $1 trillion, gonna give her half. So see these houses right here, I wish I could get a 3 right here, 1 on each corner, 1 on each parallel of the street. Turn your heads left and right when you cross the street. And so I gotta admire a little bit of that architecture. Sometimes I just notice the architecture, and I admire it, you know. Like that, architectural styles and architectural designs. And I do meditations, you know. I do meditations. Super important. I meditate now, everything that's going on, from kindergartens to the schools to the butchers, the cooking, sanitation wise and construction wise. On my way to drop out those recycling, I just met a construction worker. We spoke a few words, French. My fellow cousin here, because Quebecers, sometimes we're dysfunctional, but you're my family, you know. We're family now, so sometimes we're not perfect, but we can continue to make it with the French and English and make it in North America, you know. So North America is the new world here, and I predicted what's happening now across the world, eh? So I predicted the geopolitical situation that's unfolding now. So with all the imperfections and faults that I do have, and do not make pretense that I'm perfect, that I'm without flaws or vices, because I am, and you know, and been working a lot the past years. I've accepted I'm different. Got at Asperger's, so I'm less than 1 out of 300, less than 1%, less than half of a percentile, so 0.44%, so not even 1 out of 300 has Asperger's like myself, not even 1 out of 300. So maybe you're not going to even find 1 out of 300 who has Asperger's. So it's a neurological condition, right? And that neurological condition, there's no medication for being an Aspi. For Asperger's, there's no medication, but that neurological condition makes me predisposed to repetition and being obsessed about certain interests of topics of choice, which of course I am thoroughly obsessed about, such as the study of geopolitics, and I am an independent geopolitical analyst and theorist, a philosopher, and a world peace advocate, right? So being a philosopher, a geopolitical analyst and theorist, parallel to being obsessed about sports and fitness, right? So being obsessed about sports and fitness, I'm also a geopolitical analyst and theorist, and somebody, of course, who wills to buy this house right here, give it a call to Martin Rouleau, 514-933-998. For this at 576 right here, this one for my anonymous sister friend. Let's go. Oprah, Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Oprah, Taylor Swift. Give my anonymous sister that one, so it's gonna be much appreciated. So gonna turn the heads over, gonna take a little bit of picture there. You can see the mount. You can see that we're already on the mountain, right? So you can see that here we're already on West Mount, one of the mountain peaks. See, we're already on one of the mountain peaks right here, and see, we gotta get a little bit of that picture, but I'm on West Mount. So West Mount is one of the peaks, or the summits, or the peaks, because it's like a mountain system called Mount Royal, on which is the heart of the island of Montreal metropolis, which has 2.5 million people. Is of course at the right at the heart, but south. It's not really center, but at the heart, south. It's south, right? Because north, Montreal expands north, south, east, west. The big island is like a small country. We got 2.5 million people, 2.5 million people just on the island, which is surrounded by a big river, one of the biggest river in the world in North America, St. Lawrence. So we of course are now. So I am now currently situated on the peak, mountain peak, called of course Mount Royal. Not of Mount Royal, but West Mount, because Mount Royal, the mountain system, has 3 peaks. So it's a 3-peaked mountain system. It's a 3-peaked mountain system. A mountain system that has 3 peaks. I'm in West Mount. And we cross, we go on Mount Royal. We go on Mount Royal. So now we're going east, right? I'm coming from the west. So now the camera, of course, is pointing north. So it's always north, south, east, west, right? That's how it goes. And I gotta say that kind of inspires me, that house. I don't know, there's something I really like about it. I guess how it's the colorful, it's very unique architectural wise. I kind of like it. Kind of makes me think of something which is out of a story, you know, out of a novel, like a novel, something like that, something out of a novel. And could be, I just got inspired now to write a children's book. Here's another one for sale, 514-206-0206, 514-206-2006 for this one right here. So Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Oprah, you can get that to my anonymous sister friend and get it on the drill. Turn your heads left and right. Here you can see part of the mountain. See, you can see all the way to the other mountain there as well. See, so you can see how it goes down steep. Nonetheless, here when I cross the street, I get from that left to right. I get for that left right, and I go east, right? But nonetheless, you can see, so it's visible, right? The visibility of it. How it goes down, how it goes down, right? So this one too, this one we can split in half, I guess. We can split in half. We can split this house in half. Half for me, half for my sister. Paint half green, half red. It's gonna be 2 nice colors, I guess. Green and red, I guess, and yeah, if not rainbow. But I guess put a little bit of gray, white, and black in it. But you know, I red. Scarlet is my favorite color, but I don't. It's not like I want to paint everything red. I like a little bit of composition of different colors. But anyway, see here, turn my head left and right, and you see how it goes down, steep. It just goes downhill, right? Here, the corner of Roslyn and Côte Saint Antoine and Westmount on this mountain, Mount Royal, who has 3 peaks, and I'm on Westmount now. So that's what it is. So again, this one is for my fellow Thelemites, Thelema nations of Thelema, Thelemites, and North American here in XYZ, and you know, there's so many to explore, so much to explore here in Montreal. You see that beautiful city, beautiful architecture. Just there's so much to explore just to my island, and the island is really all I know. Got that retrograde amnesia, got that Asperger's, and I have survived COVID back in 2020. See, now you can see all the way to the mountain. You can see that's Nuns Island. I believe that's Nuns Island. I believe those big buildings, but some of these construction workers go is 314. Somebody laid another brick across Canada. Gotta give a little bit of shout out, rock and roll, meditate for those bricks, for the buildings on those cranes. It is the construction workers laying lanes, butchers, farmers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks, all involved in the production and the distribution of food. Here you can see again. So super important. Super important. Ah, feel good. Always feel good after having to work out. When I'm in the workout, I always feel good. And see, this is a bit on the messy side here, but gotta get those, salute those public workers, you know. Whoops. Saluting those public workers, getting them on that drill and getting them on the go and getting them on the go and saluting and making sure we get that view and making sure we get that toast, making sure we get that electricity, go Hydro-Quebec, go. And civilization is a privilege, you know. Civilization is a privilege. Civilization is a privilege. We gotta get that rock and roll, you know. There you can see clearly. See, I can see the river. Oh wow! Getting mad at each other, I guess. Getting mad at each other. Getting mad. Little doggies getting mad at other doggies. Anyways, my brothers and sisters, civilization is a privilege. We gotta salute the farmers, the butchers, the bakers, the nurses, the doctors, the grocery store clerks, and all involved in the production, distribution of food, you know. So super important to think about as I always meditate, always immersed on what's happening now. and those who, of course, are in the butchers, in the bakers, and the nurses, and the doctors, and those, of course, on the daycares, and of course, those, of course, who are involved in the all activities of civilization now as I go, and gonna get it on that field and get it on that drill and get it on that X, so super important to meditate. I'm gonna check this field of blue flowers. Wow, look at that. It's just amazing. Spring flowers, this is so beautiful. Wow, what? That's amazing. We're gonna go all the way up and down and check it out. And I'm gonna sing a little bit of that French rock and roll and gonna check a little bit of that field. And 1, 2, and 3, so let's go for the rock and roll. Hey, for the rock and roll, into the spring, look at the beautiful blue, like the sky I see you. And that blue and some of them white flowers on the field in the west mount on the mountain there, hey. Rock and roll it with a dragon for the butchers and the bakers and the nurses and the doctors and the firefighters. Hey, show me some of that good loving. For the nurses, for the doctors, for the firefighters and the butchers. LOV's all I know. And the spring up in the tango, let's go. Rumble, rumble, rumble. For the construction workers on those steel toes being up. This is what I got. Rock and roll up in the blue. Feel is that I see you. Hey, you can see it. You can believe it. Is that blue sky up in it? You can see it. You can believe it. Is that blue sky up in it? And the field of the blue. And you know that I love you. Rock and roll 24/7. Up in the road, up in the heavens. For the rainbow of the dragon. We're gonna sing it for the public workers. For the butchers and the truckers and the nurses and the doctors, grocery store clerks. So don't forget the daycare workers in the field of blue. And LOV, you. Now we're gonna switch to that French. Et voilà les fleurs bleues. Et voilà les fleurs bleues, comme le ciel bleu de la belle province de chez nous. Et les travailleurs en construction, les infirmières du béton. Ah ouais, faites un don. Le dragon en arc-en-ciel qui vous chante puis vous danse à la danse. Sinon, faut que je dise, la rivière qui est bleue aussi, de loin qu'on voit. Pas besoin de trop de négociations, qu'on négocie pour les fleurs du printemps. C'est le bleu, puis le bleu ciel, c'est le dragon et moi. Vous et moi et nous, sans le becherel, qu'on conjugue à la danse, belle province, bel amour, que ça fasse un peu comique, comédie, philosophe, les fleurs bleues de chez nous. Bien des fleurs, mais regarde, que ça fasse, mais ça danse comme des fleurs, la renaissance, mais la belle province avec le bleu. Et puis j'en trouve 7 blanches, ben des bleus, puis j'en trouve 7 blanches, ben des bleus, puis j'en trouve 7 blanches. Ah ouais, la danse, belle province, pour que je vous chante Dragon arc-en-ciel. Pour l'amour, puis la victoire, pour la renaissance, ah ouais. Le soleil qui brille, puis ça va, puis ça danse. Oui, votre dragon en arc-en-ciel vous invite tous et toutes à la danse québécoise. Déjà, il y a les abeilles qui sont dessus, mais oui, hey. Il y a déjà les abeilles qui sont dessus, mais oui. Pour qu'ils ramassent, font du miel, c'est la montagne en quelque part, des abeilles. Hey, déjà, ils travaillent comme des abeilles, travailleurs publics, changent nos aqueducs. Ah ouais, pour la République, que ça danse sans gêne, votre dragon en arc-en-ciel vous invite. Pas besoin de le bénir, juste une bière à place. Hey, you know you already got the bees working. Blue field of the spring. Spring for the North Americans, I sing. Rainbow Dragon, I don't need too much bling. I need some hugging and some loving. Firefighters and the butchers and the nurses. And the doctors in the grocery store clerks, you can see the bees. Already at work up in the knees. Already getting ready for putting up some honey on the mountain. You can see the bees and the beautiful sing. For the field of the blue, for the flowers I see you. And I love the bees as they go, for the public workers and the nurses and the doctors and the truckers. I gotta salute and love and love those firefighters. And the blue. And I see you, and the flowers and the blue, and the green grass, that's the cut. That's the rainbow dragon love. That's the blue up in the field, like the sky, you know it's real. That's the blue up in the field, like the sky, you know it's real. That's the blue up in the field, like the sky, you know it's real. And I got a thrill for the deal, real for the squeal, real for the deal. Get a deal, butchers and the bakers and the nurses and the doctors, firefighters with it, you know that I love to sing it. So you can dance to this, shake your hips, better do some working with the lips, with the hips and with the lips, like the flowers open up, sun up into lips to this, sun up in delicious, please, for the butchers and the farmers, Mount Royal Rainbow Dragon, singing for the blue, singing I see you, singing another melody, so I can see you see, for the blue, for the butchers and the bakers and the construction workers on those steel toes on the lanes going up, you see. And the nurses, the butchers, the bakers, the birds say, hey, spring, you see, blue sky, that's the sun melody. Oh yeah, that was some of that good rock and roll, and you know, it's rock and roll 24/7 with me, and there's some more over there, more of that blue, but you know, we're gonna go to the mountain and around the back, but I'm really glad I got to do a little bit of singing, you know, because I love to sing a little bit of that good rock and roll. And those were quite amazing, just the blue, so blue like the sky. I didn't see a big field, super long, just like up and down, just going for like meters and meters and meters. That was quite an event, so I'm grateful for that, you know. Grateful I got to witness that event, and greatness. Just gonna do a little bit of something here, so just gonna get it for that, and yeah, get it for another one, so. Yeah. All right, now we're back in business, so I will now to discuss, of course, the death row fusion theory. So I'm gonna be looking for that photo, and before I do, I just want to say again that today, April 9th, special for my Thelemites, North Americans Unite March, rock and roll march 24/7 for the butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks. And turn my head left and right before I cross the street, because I'm gonna cross over and gonna go around about and gotta give it a little bit of snap, you know, because there's a stop sign there, but you know, the stop sign might not be respected, and sometimes it passes by fast, so you always gotta turn your heads left and right before you cross the street. So because at the end of the day, you know, the car, at the end of the day, of course, the car is metal on wheels, it's metal on wheels. As much as it can be fancy, and we got different models, and you know, I love my Cadillac, and I don't own a Cadillac, I don't own a car, but if I would, it would be, I do love Cadillacs, my favorite car. I would love to have an electric Cadillac, but 1963 Cadillacs is a good way. And I want to interject, of course, to say that again, if I know somebody who deserves to live in houses like this, and let's go Taylor Swift, Oprah, Beyonce, get my anonymous sister that house, or the ones that are for sale, you know, here in Westmount, or anywhere in Montreal for that matter, you know. If I make $1 million, I'm gonna give her half a beer, I'm gonna give her half a drink, I'm gonna give her half anyway. So anonymous, and I am financially struggling, $10,000, $500 in debt, but I got food. I paid my rent for April, and paid also my electricity bill. Go Hydro Quebec, go 24/7, and paid my electricity bill. Got food, and super joyous now, you know, I get to work out, get to go to the mountain on this beautiful day, meditate, and always thinking about everything that's happening now for the truckers on the road, Canada, US, Mexico, and the construction workers, the nails they're putting, all the labor, the sweat, the muscle, the brains with it, you know, high-tech, IT workers also, we got to get that cyber security as well, you know, coast to coast. Sometimes we got to do that cyber security with us, and calling for the public-private partnership. When I say my dream, support my dream, Adrian Hunter Dragon's dream, yours truly, Aspid Amnesia, retrograde amnesia, my dream for it's fundamentally a call for a public-private partnership, you know, a PPP, public-private partnership throughout the collective North American civilizational complex and throughout North America, you know. So we always got to get that drill, we always got to get that drill, and we always got to get the functionality, you know, to do X, Y, Z, and to drill it in, and to carpe diem and every day, which I do since I died of COVID. It was 2020, February, March 2020, already 4 years, huh? So I always say that there's nothing that I want to go back to, is I just live carpe diem it every day. So with all the Asperger's that I got that makes me prone to obsessive interests such as geopolitics, and I'm an independent geopolitical analyst and theorist, I'm a philosopher, and I love my sports and fitness, but nonetheless I do have Asperger's. So the DRT, I'm going to explain, and this again I'm going to say that it's perhaps and most likely due to the fact, of course, that I do have Asperger's, which makes me predisposed to certain topics of interest with obsessive interests, and mine are geopolitics, sports, fitness, and the study of civilizations. And the study of civilizations includes, of course, includes public finance. So now I'm going to show you a picture of where we are now in terms of our public financial system, in terms of what our public finances are. So this is taken from last year, 2023. So this was 2023, November 22nd. This is the public finance of Canada. This is the amount of debt servicing, in other words, interest that we pay on the debt. So look, 2021, it was 20.3 billion. In this year, 2023, 2024, it's going to be 46.5 billion. So if you notice, and these are the official numbers, if you notice, paying the interest on the public debt of Canada has more than doubled. See? Has more than doubled. See? More than doubled. Because 20.3 times 2, it would have been 40.6. 40.6. It would have been 40.6. So now, 40.6, it's 46.5. 46.5. It's 46.5 paying the interest. So it more than doubled. It more than doubled, right? It more than doubled. Paying the interest on the debt has more than doubled, right? So here I gotta take a little picture of that because it's so nice, and I gotta before I cross the street, of course, I gotta turn my head left and right, make sure that no car comes, and make sure I cross safely, but nonetheless I can see part of the bridge there, see the bridge? So I always gotta take a little bit of a picture with it. Let's see, you can see part of the bridge there. See. Anyway, so now I can cross safely. Corner Argyle and Montrose. So I'm at the corner Argyle and Montrose. So once again, this is the numbers. These are the numbers from the CBC. This picture was taken November 22nd, 2023. This picture was taken November 22nd, 2023. This picture was taken last year, November 22nd, 2023. So last year, 2020, 2021, was 20.3 billion. 20.3 billion. A billion is 1,000 million, right? It has 9 zeros. It has 9 zeros, right? That's a billion. So you can see that it more than doubled, because double would have been 20.3, would have been 40.6. 40.6. 40.6. 40.6. That's what it would have been. Right? That's what it would have been. $20.3. So that number more than doubled to 46.5. 46.5, 46.5, 46.5, 46.5. So I more than double the amount of interest that we pay. So my brothers and sisters, there's no other solution but my DRT. The DRT stands for debt refusion theory. The debt refusion theory. The DRT, debt refusion theory. And of course, my theory, keep in mind, includes the financial theory known as the monetary integration theory, which of course it is exactly what was done in Europe. Now I'm going to cross the street myself, turn my head left and right. Before I do, there's a stop sign at every intersection here, so in theory they got to stop. But what if they don't? And what if the citizen driver presses the accelerator and doesn't see me because of the sun? If he comes from the other way, the sun might block the view. All those considerations, right? So I got added responsibilities, duties, and obligations now. I'm in the public. I'm not just in my dragon's lair. I can't, I got responsibilities, duties, and obligations in the public, which I would have not had under the normal circumstance, right? So we got to get that DRT. So the DRT stands debt, D-R-T, debt refusion theory. My theory is the only solution where we are now financially. So you saw how much interest only we pay on the public debt. We're gonna pay 46.5. My brothers and sisters, this is catastrophic. This is an emergency. There's no way but my DRT theory, and this has come as a blessing for myself, for you, for all Canadians, due to my curse, me being cursed with Asperger's, right? So now I present a simple solution where it got to be implemented. There's no other way to sustain the growing debt. And yes, I understand that there were special financial measures during COVID, and that's why we pay so much interest. The debt servicing has more than doubled. In other words, debt servicing is a fancy term to say how much interest we pay. So it more than doubled to 20.3, from 20.3 to 46.5. So my DRT theory, the debt refusion theory, also includes what's called monetary integration theory. Monetary integration theory. So monetary integration theory is exactly what was done in the European Union. So the Germans got rid of the Deutsche Mark, the French got rid of the franc, the Italians got rid of the lira. And many countries in Europe, starting from the 90s, but it predates to the 50s, with the EEC, European Economic Council, they got rid of their old currencies and they created a common bank from all the different states with different languages, so many different languages. They created from all those states, different languages, they created the European Union. And they created the European Central Bank, which of course issues the euro. So they put into practice, implemented monetary integration theory in international finance, in international relations. Monetary integration theory. That's what they did. So they took all the currencies and they integrated all their currencies, and they implemented monetary integration theory, right? So they took all from the currencies, they took them all off, and they created a new currency. The euro. Turn your heads left and right here before you cross the street. See? Better to cross safely. So my DRT theory, keep in mind, includes the monetary integration theory, which is of course exactly what they did in the European Union. So take all public and private. This is my DRT theory, which includes monetary integration theory. So take all public and private debt, my 10,500, yours, ours, across Canada, coast to coast, add it all up together. So my 10,500, yours, ours, add it all together, Canada, coast to coast, all the public and the private debt gonna be in the trillions with my 10,500, yours, ours. The United States debt, Mexican debt, across the collective North American civilizational complex across North America, across the North American civilizational complex, across the North American civilizational complex. So across North America. So take all public and private debt, refuse it. Whatever the number is going to be in the trillions, and due to the fact that the United States dollar still is the currency of choice, still is the currency of choice, still is the currency of choice, the United States dollar. Get a house on D. Ramsey and Monroe's right here, the corner for my anonymous sister friend, Monroe's and Ramsey, R-A-M-E-Z-E-D-Y, Ramsey. There's helicopters. Build me some 300, blah, blah. Turn your heads left and right, turn your heads left and right, turn your heads left and right, and get those more helicopters up. So, the DRT. So, due to the fact that the United States dollar still is the currency of choice for international finance, global business, and world trade, right? So, the US dollar, the US currency, still is the currency of choice for international finance, global business, global affairs, and world trade, right, and tourism. So take all the debt, the public and the private, all that number gonna be in the trillions. But do the conversion, because we're gonna convert all the public and the private debt of Canada, United States, Mexico, Haiti, and North American countries to US dollars, and then add it up with the United States dollar. Like I said, due to the fact that the United States dollar still is the currency of choice for world trade, international finance, and global business. So yours truly, and take it all and convert it into US dollars, right? So take all the private and the public debt, myself, my $10,000, yours, add it all up. This number is going to be in the trillions, based on the United States dollar. Set an interest rate limit of, create a new central bank, a new North American bank, and all that debt, public and private, will be the initial money supply. Will be the initial money supply for a new bank. So we're gonna do exactly like in Europe, create a new bank to issue a new currency, and that currency will be the UE, U.E.U. standing for Universal Exchange Unit, U.E.U. That's why I'm calling on my astrological brother Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, and all public-private partnership institutions and organizations and institutions to do it. So yours truly, take all the public and the private, debt, my 10,500, add it all up, all that debt gonna be in the trillions. That will be the initial money supply for a new central bank. That will be the initial money supply for a new central bank. That will be the initial money supply. So all the debt, the public and the private, will be the money supply in US dollars, because the currency we're gonna create is gonna be exactly based on the United States dollar. The UE, U.E.U. Universal Exchange Unit, U.E.U. Right? The Universal Exchange Unit. We're gonna set an interest rate limit of 10% max. But I'm calling on my Scorpio of the stars, brother Bill Gates, or Black Rock, Blackstone is not the same, but Larry Fink of a financial institution. Of course, Blackstone and BlackRock are not the same. Blackstone and BlackRock are not the same. So we're gonna add all up, all that money will be the initial money supply for a new central bank. So we're gonna add it all up, and we're gonna go for the DRT, and we're gonna create it for the DRT. So we're gonna go on that we're gonna go create a universal exchange unit, preferably by biometrics. So take all the public and the private debt, all the private and the public debt, refuse it. All that number will be, of course, in the trillions. Canadian public and private debt, Canadian public and private debt converted to US dollars, Canadian public and private debt converted to US dollars, Mexican pesos to US dollars, Haitian gourd to US dollars, all that. Public, private, the public and the private, all that money will be the initial money supply for a new global bank, a new North American bank, to issue what I call the UEs, the Universal Exchange Unit, the Universal Exchange Unit, the UE, based on the US dollar. We're gonna set an interest rate level of 10% max, no higher than 10% on all loans thereafter. That's the solution, the implementation of the DRT. So all the debt, public and private, put it together, add it all up, it's gonna be in the billions and trillions and trillions. That money is gonna be the initial money supply. Set an interest rate of 10% maximum. It could be 3.33, 7.18, 4.18, 7.70, whatever the case may be, 7.18, 9.3, 6.1, etc., etc., etc. And standardize all the prices. We're gonna freeze all the prices, so we're gonna get rid of inflation. So freeze all the prices of all the goods, the bread, the butter, and the milk, and the rest. Standardize the prices, and with that money, we're gonna finance the reconstruction of the North American civilizational complex, build more public transit, public train, electric train, and build the highways, rebuild the highways, and rebuild the highways, and build massive surveillance, security, and defense centers, Dragon Army, public-private partnership, where citizens can go and see, monitor everything with webcams, computers, and have owned the public security service and defense, and encouraging people to work out, train, and exercise, and gotta get that DRT into action, into practice. So, you know, with all the curse, suffering I've been through, depressed and suicidal, Asperger's, and lost employment, blah blah blah, and contracts not renewed, you know, Aspies, we suffer that, and getting that YZ, and gotta get for that drill. So we made it at the top of the mountain, not at the top but at the base. So support a dream. The dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom, support a dream. The dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom, support a dream. So super important, of course, to support a dream, and the dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom right here on the sun, and a beautiful sun now, sun shining and getting XYZ. So support the DRT, and get that DRT, debt profusion theory, for the creation of the UE, the Universal Exchange Unit. The only solution, brothers and sisters. There's no other solution. There's no other solution to what's happening now, financially, economically, in terms of the public finance catastrophe version of Armageddon that we're heading towards. So that is the solution, the DRT. There's no other solution but the implementation of the dragons, rainbow dragon, independent, gay, androgynous, pansexual, androgynous, gay, androgynous, pansexual, gay, and philosopher, artist, and Aspie with amnesia, retrograde amnesia, and you know, that's the solution, the DRT, the debt profusion theory. So there's no other solutions but what I said, what I've aforementioned, but the DRT, the debt profusion theory, for the creation of the UE. So that is the only solution at this point in time, where we are, of course, and where we are set to get that Concord, you know, and get that Concord, get it for the X, for the Z, for the Y, and here we are, chop on the mountain. We're gonna enter by this side right here, and gotta give a little shout out to the city. See the city right there, and call for anybody who wants to support that I go up and down these stairs right here. Go up and down these stairs 300 times, $300, cause of your choosing, and getting XYZ, and gotta go on the upside, see? I always feel good when I come here. This is my second home, and please do not pollute. If you come here, please do not pollute. If you do come here, please do not pollute. Put it in the garbage. Put it in the trash. Do not pollute. So once again, the DRT for the creation of the UE is the only solution, as we are, of course, engaged for this special dream, the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, which is the call for a public-private partnership across the collective North American civilizational complex as we go, of course, rock and roll it to the mountain, a rainbow dragon on the CIT, DRT, debt refusion theory, and of course, to get it on that X and on that Y and on that DRT, on that guess the debt refusion theory, and getting on that DRT for the creation of the UE. So once again, take all public and private debt, refuse it, my debt, your debt, our debt, their debt who just passed, that one over there, all Canadians coast to coast, the public and the private, all the public and the private debt, my debt, your debt, our debt, all that money converted to US dollars. So my private debt, yours, all the private and the public debt converted to US dollars, Canadian public and private debt converted to US dollars, Mexican peso debt converted to US dollars, Haitian gourd of North American countries. And that money added with the US will be the initial money supply for this new North American bank, to issue a new currency. The UE stands for U dot, E dot, U dot. Biometric, the hand, the voice, and the unique biometric identifiers, and old school type of currencies like we had before. So the universal exchange unit, the UE, equal to the US dollar. Freeze all the prices, all the prices of all the goods, the bread, the butter, the milk. Standardize all the prices of the bread, the milk, and all that money will be the initial money supply. Set an interest rate level of 10% max. It could be 7.70, 9.3, 3.33, 4.18, 7.18, below 10 maximum. Thereafter, get rid of inflation by the standardization of the prices. With all that money, finance the two complementary cooperative and covenant institutions, infused with all existing institutions and organizations. The North American Citizen Integrated Social Security and Defense Force, the Dragon Army, North American Social Security and Defense Force, 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 right? North American Social Security and Defense Force, and for that XYZ and XYZ. And that's it for the drill. And Susan's going a little bit of dance there. That's some good. My children working out, exercising, joy of the children. They're joyous. I'm joyous. They're happy, I'm happy. And that's what brings me joy, the youth joy, and getting a little bit of DRT. So when you come here, please do not pollute. Put the garbage in the garbage, the recycling in the recycling. You know, because I find a little bit of there and get a little bit of that. So super important to put it in the garbage and recycling, and XYZ, and get it for that drill, you know. So we gotta get it for that drill, for that drill, you know. So gotta put on the table along with trillions of kisses. Laying the foundations for the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, first and foremost, with 718 trillions of kisses. Laying the foundations for the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, first and foremost, with 718 trillions of kisses. First and foremost, I'm laying the foundations of the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom with 718 trillions of kisses. That's the credit from the forgotten goddess. Some rock and roll with it, and the trinity of theories, CIT, citizen integration theory, DRT, debt refusion theory, and democratic fusion theory with it. And by the DRT created two covenant cooperative and cooperative institutions, the North American Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service, and the Dragon Army for security and service, for security and service, for security and service, for service and security, for service and security, you know. That's what it is, rock and roll 24/7, and here it is, you can see the lake. I think the ducks are back. Look at the beautiful ducks, man. Let me see some of those wild ducks, see? Came back here, white, black, and gray, and they got a little bit of gun about them, so I always like to see the ducks coming here and in nature. So that's all. We got rabbits, we got groundhogs, we got a lot of flora and fauna, so I'm still waiting for a reply because I want to do a lot of spring cleaning here, blah 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 blah. You know, sometimes I see that youth who just picked up, instead of putting it in the garbage, he put it in, of course, the recycling. So gotta give a little bit of shout out to that as I go to get that hydration, and of course gotta get that DRT, debt refusion theory, for the creation of the UE, the Universal Exchange Unit, and gotta get it for that drill. I don't know if it's still icy a little bit down there, but kind of looks like there's ice underneath though. Gotta get a little bit of that ice, man. A little bit of that icy right there, so gotta get it for that drill. So encouraging all to work out, try and exercise, and please do not pollute. Do not leave garbage or trash or garbage or anything, which of course gotta get that pollution for the rabbits to clean here the environment, the flora and the fauna, and the flora and the fauna right here. Rainbow dragon for the DRT, debt refusion theory, for the creation of the UE. With that money, we're going to be able to finance rebuilding infrastructure, the two complementary covenant cooperative institutions, the Dragon Army, the Dancing Goddess Army for the environment, for pleasure, and for defense, security, and service, 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 for defense, security, and service, right? For defense, security, and service. So gotta give a shout out to the farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, those who build the aqueducts. I can drink a little bit of water, hydrate, and go about my business, my work here, work 24/7 independent work with the laptop, and got a little bit of this water right here, you know. So oh yeah. Well, some good water right there, so gotta give a shout out, thank yous. I'm about to embark on the other side, but I'm gonna go through, we'll get the march, maybe do a little bit of dance or something, or whatever the case may be, but gotta get on that drill, you know. So grateful, thankful, rent's paid, electricity bills paid, got food and coffee. So once again, my DRT, debt refusion theory, the only solution. The debt refusion theory, the DRT stands for the debt refusion theory. It includes monetary integration. It is exactly what was done, of course, in the European Union, and we're gonna do the same, but with the added dimension that my DRT includes monetary integration, and of course gotta get that monetary integration was like they did in Europe, the European Union. So I need some cleaning over there, man. It's kind of dirty. Needs a bit of cleaning, man. For the ducks, because that's gonna be cleaned by the public workers. So they're gonna clean right here. We got some fishes. See the fishes still already out. See, we got those fishes, man. See the fishes? Yeah, the fishes, man. I don't know if you see that visible, but we got the fish now. 357. See, we're gonna get that fish and gonna get a little bit of rock and roll for the fishes, and we're gonna switch to that French in a bit. But nonetheless, the DRT theory, see? Gonna get it for the fishes, man. Fishes in that English. Fishes, see? See, we got those fishes right there, see? We got it on that fish. Wow. We got the fishes in the water. You know we got those fishes in the water by the mountain, we got them. Look at the red, you know that's what I said. We got the fishes in the water by the mountain where I sing and rock and roll for the butchers and the bakers and the nurses and the doctors. Gotta get me some of those push-ups on the workers and the truckers. Got a little bit of fish, looking red up into this, looking gold up in the black, and you can see the fishes rock. I then love it, gonna love it. Gonna love it for the singers, gotta love it for the butchers, gotta love it for the nurses, and the doctors and the truckers, and those lovers on the boats, and the farmers and the cooks, cooking up something to look for the mountain, for the sing it, for the mountain, for the ring it. And we know we got that flora, and you know we got that fauna, and the ducks. Coming with our truckers with the bucks, coming for the rainbow, you know that's what we got. For the mountain on the top, for the fishes, on the lovers, on the butchers and the bakers and the nurses. Those up in the firefighters gotta send some LOV, LOV that would I eat, would it be, would it be? And you know that I see fishes up in the lake, up in the lake, and they looking hungry, I said. That's without getting that too much upset. Rainbow dragon here led up in the lead. Somebody cleaning, that's the citizen. Somebody cleaning, that's the citizen. Gotta say that thank you, citizen, for the labor, for the work, and for the labor. Thank you, gotta appreciate you. Hey, that's good. I'm doing some good for the environment and always get inspired, you know. Doing on the environmental work. And we got a lot of work here, so please do not pollute. Do not pollute yourself. Get rid of course, the pollution. Get rid of the drills. Get rid of the recycling in the recycling, and put the garbage in the garbage. You know, that's it. That's all rock and roll. You know. Oh yeah. So once again, the DRT stands for the debt refusion theory. The only solution, brothers and sisters, now, at least from the point of view now, where we are, as I march this mountain here, my second home. Please do not pollute. Do not pollute. If you come here, please put it in the garbage. Do not pollute. Put the recycling in the recycling, the garbage in the garbage, and recycling in the recycling. Make an effort, and I'm about to go to the top, switch it to that French, and going to get more hydration, and then getting out drills, because gotta get back to be back home by 6. By 6, so planning to be by 6, and I gotta drill it up, and then gotta drill it down, so that's what it is with the rock and roll. So it is on the constant. So the DRT theory stands for debt refusion theory. DRT, debt refusion theory. So the DRT, take all public and private debt, refuse it, create what I call a refusion, and all the private debt in US dollars. Do the conversion, Canadian dollar debt, US dollar debt, Mexican debt. Convert the Mexican debt, public and private, to US dollar, the Canadian public and private to US dollars, and Haitian gourd to US dollars. Add it all up. That money will be the initial money supply for a new North American integrated bank, central bank. Just like in Europe, they did it with the European Central Bank. They have a EEC. They have the European Central Bank now in Europe. They have the EEC, European Central Bank. So we're going to do the same, but we're going to do a bit differently. We're going to take all the public-private debt, and that money will be the initial money supply. That money will be the initial money supply. It's going to be in the trillions. So all that money will be the initial money supply for this new central bank. Set an interest rate limit of 10%, maximum 10%. It could be less, not more, 10%, 10%, less, not more, 10%. And of course, create the new bank to issue a new currency called the UE, Universal Exchange Unit, U dot, Universal Exchange Unit, Universal Exchange Unit, U dot universal E dot exchange, because that's how money is to buy sell unit. Like I said, preferably by biometrics, both biometrics, the hand, the voice, and the unique biometric identifier. That's why calling our astrological brother Bill Gates and Larry Fink, BlackRock, public and private institutions and organizations to support us. So take all the public and the private debt, refuse it, whatever the number is, and of course create a global central bank, whatever the number is, create a global central bank to issue the new currency, the universal exchange, and preferably by biometrics, like I said, by biometrics, hand, the voice, and the eye, having unique biometric identifiers, having unique. Please do not pollute. Put this in the recycling and in the garbage. Let's see. Plus pack aluminum. It has those lines, but it has only 2 lines. It says plus pack. Is it recyclable? It has only 2 lines. It doesn't have 3 lines. It doesn't have the recycling. So since it's dirty a bit, I'm gonna put it in the garbage. Since it's dirty a bit. It only has 2 lines. Yeah, how come it doesn't have the official 3? See, I'm always learning myself. I guess it's rare that I see the aluminum with a 3, but it's dirty a bit, so I'm gonna wash it, but I'm gonna put it to the garbage because I might save a bird or a rabbit with that. So the DRT once again includes whatever is called monetary integration, as was done in, of course, European Union. So take all the public and the private debt, all the public and the private debt, the public and the private debt, the public and the private debt. Take all the public and the private debt, refuse it, create, of course, a new bank, a new central bank, of course, and issue the universal exchange unit, the U dot, based on the United States dollars. That's what money is to buy, sell, right? And set an interest rate limit of 10%, and set that interest rate to 10%. So to 10% interest rate thereafter. It's gonna be 10% thereafter. Somebody dropped your glasses. Please, you should have it is recyclable. Let's see. I liked the fact that you enjoyed the, but this has to be recycled. So let's see. Made in the USA. Bartlett, Tennessee. Made in Bartlett, Tennessee. Who's making love in Bartlett now? I was there roaming twice in the past lives, previous incarnations. I was born in the USA both times, post 7076. Served in the United States Army both times, post 7076. Served in the United States Army. Turn your heads left and right before you cross the street. Roundabout in the past life twice, post 7076. I served in the United States Army. Bartlett, Tennessee, eh? Let's see, can it be recycled? Or we don't have the recycling, but I guess so. I'm assuming, but maybe not the. See, it's a good question. The ISO norms, transmissions, ISO, whatever the case may be. Eclipse. Montreal, contract, blah, blah, blah. Finance the Global Dragon Union. Support my dream. Look at that beautiful black crow. Support my dream. The dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom for a public-private partnership. That's it, that's all. That's how I roll. So yours truly, death refusion theory for the creation of the Yui. My brothers and sisters, there's no other way. There's no other way out of where we are now financially, but the DRT, the debt refusion theory, which includes monetary integration, which is exactly what was done, of course, in the European Union. So take all public and private debt, refuse it, whatever the number is. All that money will be the initial money supply. The initial money supply will be the initial money supply for a new global central bank, North American central bank, and issue the UE, issue the universal exchange unit. And with all that money, we're going to be able to mass finance for building of infrastructure renewal of North America, finance to complementary covenant cooperative institutions, Dragon Army for security and service, defense only coast to coast, NATO, Canada, and of course, for the environment. Yeah. That's about how it is with the rock and roll on that side. So take all public and private debt, refuse it. The DRT calling on Raj Kabir, Bill Gates, Microsoft, Google, YouTube, Microsoft, Google, all private and public tech companies, fintech, and institutions, organizations, build more supercomputers and public-private partnership, defense, security, and service, blah, blah, blah. Coast to coast, blah, blah, blah. Coast to coast, blah, blah. Encourage all to work hard, train, exercise, grateful, thankful. My rent's paid, electricity bill's paid, got food and coffee, and I present to you, which comes via the curse of Asperger's. God, I'm an Aspie, rah, retrograde amnesia, philosopher, athlete, and geopolitical analyst and theorist, and who rocks and roll for the farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, daycare workers, grocery store clerks, 24/7. So that's how it is. That's how we get that drill. So super important to work out, train and exercise, and gratitude. On the mountain, my second home, please do not pollute. Switch to that French, because we, in la belle province, et bienvenue. Je suis déjà pour la montagne pour ce jour, deuxième jour de lecture de la Thelema, les Thelemites, Thelema. Aujourd'hui pour les Nord-Américains, deuxième mardi le 9 avril, après l'Eclipse, pour mes alliés bien armés pour l'entraînement physique. S'il vous plaît, si vous venez ici à ma deuxième maison, la Mont-Royal, ne laissez pas des déchets, de la pollution. Veuillez, s'il vous plaît, ramasser vos déchets, ramasser les poubelles, ramasser les vidanges. Et bien sûr, je vous encourage à faire de l'entraînement physique. L'entraînement physique a été, sera ma médecine et thérapie de choix. L'entraînement physique a été, sera ma médecine et thérapie de choix. L'entraînement physique a été, sera ma médecine et thérapie de choix. En vous encourageant à faire de l'exercice physique. Votre dragon arc-en-ciel, Rock&Roll, pour la renaissance. Avec l'arc-en-ciel aujourd'hui, beau soleil, et je fais mon nettoyage sur moi-même et pour moi-même, puis la gratitude. 24 sur 24. J'ai payé mon loyer pour le mois d'avril, là, on est le 9. J'ai payé mon loyer, j'ai payé ma facture d'électricité, j'ai du café et du thé, puis j'ai même du sucré chez nous. Et oui, je me suis acheté papier de toilette aujourd'hui sur un budget. Papier de toilette, un petit peu de noisette, et avec un déodorant antiperspirateur qui appelle pour les bras. Et en spécial, fait que j'ai gardé le budget, puis je vais avoir de l'argent pour acheter des pizzas en spécial. Pizza en spécial pour peut-être une soirée de cinéma avec la meilleure femme que je connais. Si je fais 1 million, je donne la moitié. Si je fais 1 million, je donne la moitié, 1 milliard. Je donne la moitié. 1 trillion, je donne la moitié. Et s'il vous plaît, ne laissez pas les choses comme ça ici. Faites un effort. Ça peut-être, ça va tuer peut-être un lapin. Ça va tuer peut-être un écureuil. Ça va tuer peut-être une marmotte. Ou ce beau papillon, si on essaie de préserver la nature. Oh, mon premier papillon que je viens de voir avec les points noirs, puis un petit peu d'orange et de brun. Puis, sur les 3 flèches, le signe du recyclage. Fait que je vais le mettre dans le recyclage, sur les 3 flèches. Je vais mettre ça dans le recyclage. Ça ne me dérange pas que vous bouvez, que vous êtes en train de boire. Faites-les. Mangez, faites-les. Des gros câlins bisous, faites-les, mais laissez pas dans la forêt des déchets. Si ça va dans le recyclage, comme c'est là, ça a les 3 flèches, mettez-les dans le recyclage, s'il vous plaît. Si ça, bien sûr, ça va dans les poubelles, mettez ça dans les poubelles. That's it, that's all. Rock&Roll. Ce n'est pas si compliqué que ça, mes chers, puis je vous encourage à faire l'entraînement physique. Ici, c'est comme ma deuxième maison, mais c'est pas juste chez nous. C'est chez nous, chez vous, chez nous autres. C'est en public, ça nous appartient, ça m'appartient pas, c'est commun. Donc, on a une responsabilité commune, puis maintenant, je suis dans le public. J'ai d'autres responsabilités, j'ai d'autres obligations, j'ai d'autres devoirs qui n'ont pas été les mêmes que si j'aurais rentré, j'aurais resté chez nous dans ma grotte. Mais je viens ici, puis chaque fois, je découvre d'autres choses, parce que l'île de Montréal, la montagne, ça a tellement de choses, j'ai pas exploré, j'ai pas vu, hein. C'est 2,5 millions. 2,5 millions. 2,5 millions, 2,5 millions d'habitants. Deuxième ville la plus grosse au Canada. Première au Québec. 8e en Amérique du Nord. Et donc, ça a tellement de choses que vous pouvez voir juste en métropole. Juste de l'île de Montréal, comme un poème, là. Il y a un poème, vous voyez. Ici, c'est de la poésie, de la tonnerre, quelque chose. C'est de la poésie, puis il y en a bien des poèmes. Il faut juste savoir où qui sont ces poèmes. Les trouver sur la montagne, blablabla. Et oui, ça m'a dit oui, confirmation pour le film. Ce soir, la meilleure femme que je connais. Et vous voyez, c'est écrit tonnerre par terre. C'est écrit tonnerre par terre. Et donc, c'est un poème ici, si ça vous intéresse. Vous pouvez lire la poésie. Écoute, faudrait y aller que la veille de tomber. Il y a de la poésie ici, vous voyez. C'est quelque chose, écoutez. Et bon, non, quand tu veux lire les dernières pages d'un bon livre, c'est des poèmes français du Québec. Chez Boyer en 1991, c'est écrit même le nom de la poésie. C'est là des parties de poèmes. C'est pas de la... Le poème, c'est des parties de la poésie que ça a été écrit par des écrivains, j'imagine, québécois, j'ai Boyer, mais comme moi, québécois, canadien, nord-américain. Poète, artiste, athlète avec amnésie rétrograde, philosophe, analyste et théoricien en géopolitique, qui n'est pas parfait loin de là, mais qui a bien sûr fait de l'entraînement physique, puis un artiste, athlète, philosophe en arc-en-ciel qui vous chante et vous encourage à faire l'entraînement physique. Et si on est une famille, mais des fois on est dysfonctionnel, Québécois et Québécoises, des fois on est dysfonctionnel, mais moi aussi je l'admets moi-même, hein, j'ai de l'agression, mais oui. J'en ai moi aussi l'agression, mais mes chers, je fais de l'entraînement physique, je m'entraîne, je fais du sport. Je suis arc-en-ciel, gay androgène, pansexuel, gay androgène, pansexuel, gay androgène, pansexuel, qui a survécu la COVID de 4 ans déjà. 4! Le chiffre après 3 avant 5, c'est 4. 2020, février, mars, c'était comme la mort, la pestilence, la maladie. C'était comme la maladie, la pestilence, puis la mort. C'était comme la maladie, la pestilence, puis la mort. Puis je suis mort de la COVID, je suis rené, puis il est 4h18, les Thelemites qui savent le 93 pour la Thelema. Mon père Crowley à Leicester, mon père Crowley à Leicester, c'était Crowley. Cool. Cool. Eh bien, comme j'ai dit, tu sais, que je fais du carpe diem à tous les jours, puis j'ai de l'espoir pour demain, mais fondamentalement, je vis pour aujourd'hui, parce que depuis que je suis mort de la COVID, ben, je suis en train de renaître sur l'île de Montréal, je suis mort sur la métropole, puis vous savez que moi, j'y crois à la réincarnation, puis j'étais né plusieurs fois dans d'autres vies antérieures, tu sais, quand je suis né sur la bas de la montagne là-bas, sur l'île de Montréal, je suis né 3 fois, entre 1665 et 1904. 3 fois, je suis né entre 1665 et 1904. Donc, entre 1905 et 1665 ou 1665, ben, de Jean de Mars à Louis XVI, de Jean de Mars à Louis XVI, 3 fois sur l'île de Montréal, je suis né. Puis j'aime savoir du monde qui s'entraîne, puis font l'exercice physique, puis font du bon exercice physique. C'est vraiment ma médecine et thérapie de choix, puis je vous encourage. Puis j'aime savoir les gens qui s'entraînent, qui font du jogging, puis tu sais, ici, je suis dans le public, j'ai des responsabilités additionnelles, ne pas faire mal à aucune personne, puis tu sais, je peux dire bien des choses, là, mais il y a certaines choses que je peux pas dire, tu sais. Fait que c'est des affaires qu'on puisse, c'est des affaires qu'on peut pas, puis des affaires que pour pas enfin, puis moi-même aussi de l'agression. J'en ai moi aussi l'agression, mes chers. C'est mieux l'admettre, là, puis prendre des solutions. Comme moi, l'Asperger's, ben, ça a été quand même j'ai été maudit pendant des années, des souffrances, j'étais en dépression puis suicidaire, mais l'événement qui m'a fait sortir de la dépression, c'est quand j'ai traversé le Canada de côte à côte. Je suis allé à Colombie-Britannique, puis j'ai dit, ouais, tellement de choses pour voir, tellement de choses pour faire à travers le Canada, là. Colombie-Britannique, tellement de choses pour voir, tellement de choses pour faire. Je dis, ouais, on traverse. T'es là avec la meilleure femme au monde. Je t'aime bien, Céline, mais ma soeur anonyme, elle mérite d'être 7 fois le chiffre après 6, le chiffre qui suit 6, et avant le 8, c'est le 7. 7 fois plus riche que Céline. Ma soeur anonyme que Beyoncé, puis Taylor Swift, puis Oprah aussi. Mais anyways, en 2017, en août, on est allé en Colombie-Britannique, à Vancouver, puis après ça, on est retourné, puis on est parti à Halifax, en Nouvelle-Écosse. Puis ça a pris 3h30 en autobus de Montréal à Vancouver, puis 25 heures et 44 minutes, 25 heures et 44 minutes, fait que plus qu'un jour de Montréal à Halifax. Puis cet événement-là, ça m'a fait sortir de la dépression, puis être suicidaire. J'ai conquis la dépression, puis être suicidaire grâce à cet événement-là. Parce que j'ai dit, bien sûr, que ça l'a fait pour tellement de choses pour voir, puis bien sûr pour faire l'expérience ici, puis pour faire l'entraînement physique, puis écrire des rock and roll, la tune, des chansons. chansons rock-and-roll, des poèmes, de la poésie, j'en ai écrit des livres d'enfants même, avec des thèmes simples, la nature et la civilisation, mais bien sûr que j'ai sorti de la dépression, puis de toute manière, je m'en souviens pas, j'ai qu'est-ce qu'on appelle l'amnésie rétrograde, là, puis avant c'était avoir déménagé, puis je sais pas si c'est la COVID qui l'a causé, mais je sais pas, c'est des mystères que j'ai dans ma vie, je m'en souviens. Avoir déménagé, puis là, j'ai eu la COVID, mais c'est peut-être la COVID qui a causé, parce que j'ai comme la misère à me souvenir de la mémoire avant ces événements. Mais je sais juste que j'habitais à une place où il y avait beaucoup de moisissures, puis beaucoup de moisissures, puis je commençais à m'entraîner, puis j'étais en dépression suicidaire, puis je commençais à m'entraîner, je commençais à filer mieux, puis j'ai été frappé par la COVID, puis en COVID, je me suis entraîné beaucoup, fait de l'entraînement physique, je suis venu des centaines de vidéos, hein, que j'ai ici à la montagne, vous pouvez voir l'entraînement physique, la danse, c'est mon sport préféré, puis je suis Aspi, j'ai l'Asperger's, hein, je suis une petite minorité, 1 sur 300, 0,44%, moins que la moitié, hein. Moins que la moitié, fait que, qui ont l'Asperger's, sont Aspi, j'ai l'Asperger's, puis il y a pas de médicaments, c'est juste savoir comment gérer mes symptômes, avoir la gestion de mes symptômes, et des symptômes de l'Asperger's, c'est, on a des tendances, puis on a des inclinaisons, des tendances, puis à être obsédé au point de nos intérêts, on a certains intérêts au point de l'obsession. Puis moi-même, j'en ai mes intérêts obsessifs, c'est l'analyse, les études en géopolitique. Puis je suis un analyste et théoricien en géopolitique indépendant. Le sport, la danse, c'est mon sport préféré. Puis aussi, bien sûr, les études de civilisation, les études de civilisationnelles, des civilisations. Donc, les études de civilisation. Puis ça, je suis maître, je suis très, très bon dans ça. Puis ça, c'est parce que j'ai l'Asperger's, que j'ai étudié la civilisation, la géopolitique, le sport, l'entraînement physique. Oui, je suis intense. Puis mes entraînements physiques durent des heures, des fois. C'est long, en temps supplémentaire, alors, toutes les fois, c'est la devise du dragon arc-en-ciel. Arc-en-ciel, avec du rock-and-roll. Puis c'est ça, l'Asperger's. Il n'y a pas de médicament pour l'Asperger's. C'est juste savoir gérer mes symptômes. La gestion de mes symptômes est super importante. La gestion de mes symptômes. Comme les symptômes, c'est répétition des choses. Je répète 2-3 fois les mêmes phrases. Ou les mêmes paroles, le même sujet, les mêmes mots. J'ai tendance à obséder sur mes sujets de préférence, mes sujets obsessifs. Puis, bien sûr, je vais répéter des choses, puis je vais m'approcher peut-être trop proche du confort d'autres citoyens dans la conversation. On a tendance à ne pas respecter ce qu'on appelle l'espace personnel, tu sais, comme un mètre, 2 mètres, des fois, de certains gens, 1,5 mètre, la moitié d'un mètre, là, 1 pied, 2 pieds, là, 3 pieds, là, 6 pieds, des fois plus, mais, tu sais, l'espace personnel. J'ai tendance toutes les aspis ont cette tendance-là, en majorité, là, c'est des symptômes. On a pas tendance de s'approcher trop proche, vraiment trop proche des gens quand on discute avec eux autres. Fait que ça, c'est un autre, c'est des symptômes, il n'y a pas de médicaments pour l'Asperger's, c'est juste savoir gérer mes symptômes puis être au courant que j'ai l'Asperger's. Et c'est ça les symptômes. Et c'est ça les symptômes. Mais c'est les symptômes de l'Asperger's. Et bien sûr que c'est des symptômes qui peuvent être gérés, mais c'est ces dernières années que j'ai commencé à les comprendre. J'ai l'Asperger, je suis Aspi, je suis différent. J'ai ces souffrances-là. Je me suis fait beaucoup d'amis dans ces dernières années. J'en ai perdu bien tous les amis que je me suis fait de ces dernières années. Là. Avec l'Asperger, je me suis perdu tous les amis que je me suis fait ces dernières années. J'ai perdu tous les amis que je me suis fait. Nouveaux amis maintenant, avec bénéfice seulement, puis les alliés puis armés, vous êtes famille, les alliés puis armés, vous êtes famille, les alliés puis armés, vous êtes famille, les alliés puis armés, vous prêtez allégeance aux légions, prêtez allégeance aux légions, vous êtes famille. That's it, that's all rock-and-roll, c'est ça qui est ça avec votre philosophe, artiste, athlète, et un 7e comédien, j'aime ça la comédie aussi, puis si je peux amener de la joie puis la comédie aux gens, mais ça en fait plaisir, puis même j'ai juste le stress financier en ce moment,
Des fois, je me suis un peu, je file pas 100%, mais quand je commence à m'entraîner, je me sens déjà mieux quand je suis actif parce que je vis un mode de style de vie très actif. L'activité physique, c'est super important pour mon bien-être. Puis je fais appel, j'ai fait appel pendant des années, blablabla, au financement des citoyens, citoyennes, de faire un partenariat public-privé à travers l'Amérique du Nord pour le financement des citoyens à faire l'entraînement physique. Et c'est ça que je vous fais appel. Puis ici, que je crédite des milliards de bisous pour la construction d'une pyramide. Seulement besoin de 3 chambres ici, la maison du dragon ici, face à face et vis-à-vis. Le temple de la déesse oublié que je crédite, avec des bisous, puis ben du rock-and-roll, puis des chatouilles. 7 étages pour les activités de la lune du matin au soir. La danse, l'interprétation des rêves ici, le temple de la déesse oublié, le temple. À 7 étages en arc-en-ciel, beaucoup de verre que je vais voir construire, bâtir ici. Le temple de la déesse oublié, le temple de la déesse oublié ici à 7 étages en arc-en-ciel, puis à ben du vert, puis face à face en rouge, écarlate. Écarlate, c'est rouge, mais rouge vif. 3 chambres, peut-être la 4e dimension, un petit gymnase, mais sinon il y a le gymnase ici sur la montagne. Une chambre à coucher pour dormir, une salle de bain avec un bain, puis bien sûr une cuisine pour faire la cuisine. Ici une pyramide pour la maison du dragon, simple, austère, sévère, mais bain du rouge, comme le coucher puis le lever du soleil en rouge-orange. Pyramide, déesse, temple de la déesse oubliée, comme une sphère, comme un cercle, à 7, le chiffre appelé 6 avant 8, à 7 étages ici, puis une pyramide ici pour la maison du dragon vis-à-vis de la temple de la déesse qui danse ici. J'ai juste besoin ici que je crédite des bisous, des châteaux et des câlins pour la construction. Je vous encourage à faire l'entraînement physique. Puis maintenant, je vais vous discuter la théorie de la refusion de la dette, mes chers, à 4h28 parce que je dois me diriger vers chez nous parce que ma sœur anonyme, elle a dit oui pour le film de ce soir. Fait que ça va être qu'il faut que je commence à me diriger parce que je commence à me diriger. Donc, je vais vous parler de la théorie de la refusion de la dette. Donc, regardez mes chers, la théorie de la refusion de la dette, c'est super important de dire que c'est la seule et unique solution en ce moment, mais avant ça, que je vous en parle, la théorie de la refusion de la dette, je veux bien sûr dire encore ma gratitude. Mon loyer est payé, ma facture d'électricité est payée, puis j'ai du café et du thé, puis je vous encourage à faire l'entraînement physique. Regardez les chiffres de la dette publique. En 2000, ça c'est les chiffres officiels, j'ai pris cette photo-là en 2020, l'année passée, 2023, le 22 novembre. C'est par CBC, puis ça c'est les chiffres officiels, vous pouvez voir la Banque du Canada. Regardez, en 2020-2021, c'était 20,3 milliards qu'on payait d'intérêts. En 2023-2024, ça a plus que doublé à 46,5. C'est en 3 ans, payer l'intérêt, servir la dette. Ça, c'est juste payer l'intérêt sur la dette publique canadienne. Regardez, ça a plus que doublé. 2020-2021, c'était 20,3 milliards, 1 milliard, billion. Ça a 9 zéros, ça, c'est 1000 millions, ça. 20 000 millions, ça, en 2020-2021. En 2023-2024, maintenant, cette année, c'est 46,5 milliards. Ça, c'est des milliards, ça. C'est 40 000 millions, ça. Juste payer la dette. Service d'intérêt. Fait que mes chers, je peux dire qu'il n'y a pas d'autre solution que la TRD, ma théorie, qui, bien sûr, vient comme une bénédiction pour vous, pour moi-même aussi, pour moi, pour vous autres aussi, pour nous, pour l'individu et pour le collectif. La TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, qui ça vient bien sûr du le fait que j'ai été maudit par l'Asperger's, puis j'ai une de mes obsessions, d'intérêt obsessif, c'est les études en civilisation. Puis quand je te dis des civilisations, c'est en civilisation, l'ancienne Égypte, la civilisation de l'ancienne Rome, pas Roumanie, mais Rome comme l'Empire romain. Mais la Roumanie, le mot, ça vient de la Nouvelle Rome, ou juste comme ça, du latin, comme le français, le roumain, l'espagnol, puis l'italien, puis le portugais, c'est des langues latines qui se tirent de l'Empire romain. Puis vous pouvez voir les devises, hein? La devise du Canada, c'est en latin, ça vient de l'Empire romain, le latin, l'Empire romain, les ancêtres de nos ancêtres, qui c'est, je sais pas. Moi, je Québécois, Canadien, Nord-Américain, mais je t'étudie quand même les civilisations. Mais anyways, puis bien sûr, l'ancienne Babylone, tout ça, c'est ça, des finances publiques, ça date de plus que 5000 ans quand ils ont construit les pyramides. Mais maintenant, on paye tellement d'intérêts qu'il n'y a pas d'autre solution que ma théorie de la dette, TRD, la théorie de la refusion de la dette. Puis ça vient bien sûr d'avoir été maudit par l'Asperger's, puis j'ai été maudit par l'Asperger's, puis j'ai étudié ces choses-là. Fait que la TRD, que ça soit, bien sûr, implémentation, puis tenez compte que la TRD, la théorie de la refusion refusion de la dette, ça inclut bien sûr la théorie d'intégration monétaire. C'est exactement ce qu'ils ont fait, bien sûr, en Europe, qu'est-ce qu'ils ont fait en Europe, bien sûr, qu'est-ce qu'ils ont fait en Europe avec le UI, l'unité de l'euro qu'ils ont fait dans les années 90. Ils ont fait une unité commune, une monnaie commune, ils ont fait l'intégration monétaire. Fait que ma théorie de la dette, la TRD, ça inclut bien sûr cette unité, ça inclut la théorie de la refusion de la dette. Fait que c'est toujours ces choses-là. Et bien sûr, là, c'est les théories de la dette. Je vois du monde qui s'entraîne, puis c'est ça qui ressemble à la joie, fait de l'entraînement physique investi dans le corps, puis vous faites bien toujours emmener de la joie quand je les vois qu'ils font l'entraînement physique, et puis c'est super un bon investissement, puis on va pouvoir, avec la théorie de la dette, on va pouvoir financer les gens en fait de l'entraînement physique, et puis à prendre soin de leur corps, parce que c'est super important de prendre soin du corps, puis comme ici, prendre des grosses respirations. Ah, la fraîcheur de l'air ici. Vous avez vu d'où que je suis parti? Je suis parti qu'il y avait bien sûr beaucoup de roches. Ben, c'est la jungle urbaine qu'on appelle, puis avec les automobiles, puis bien la pollution. Tu sais, fait que, ici, on peut se nettoyer. Mais bien sûr, la théorie de la refusion de la dette, je vais vous l'expliquer maintenant. Prendre toute la dette, ma dette incluant en tant que citoyen privé, j'ai 10 500 en dette. Donc, ma dette, votre dette, notre dette, la dette des États-Unis, du Canada et du Mexique. Et vu que la devise des États-Unis, l'argent américain, c'est encore la devise de choix pour le change, le commerce international, les finances du monde, on va faire une conversion. Fait que toute cette dette, on va la mettre ensemble, on va faire un chiffre de milliards. Fait que la dette publique-privée, ma dette privée en tant que citoyen privé, c'est 10 500. Ma dette, votre dette, notre dette, votre dette, la dette du Canada. Vu que le dollar américain, la devise des États-Unis, c'est encore la monnaie de choix pour les finances du monde, le commerce global, puis les affaires du monde. Fait que, vu que bien sûr, c'est encore le commerce du monde, les finances internationales, puis bien sûr le commerce du monde. On va faire la conversion de la devise des États-Unis en le dollar canadien, la dette publique privée des États-Unis. Du Canada converti en dollars des États-Unis, du Mexique, le peso du Mexique en dollars américains, la gourde haïtienne. Fait que tout ce chiffre-là de la dette publique ainsi que privée, ça va être l'argent initial de cette nouvelle banque. Ça va être l'argent initial de cette nouvelle banque. Ça va être l'argent initial de cette nouvelle banque. Ça va être dans des milliards. Fait que tout ce chiffre-là. Après ça, on va mettre ce chiffre-là, ça va fonder une nouvelle banque, ça va être l'argent initial en circulation de cette nouvelle banque, l'argent initial dans cette nouvelle banque. Toute cette dette-là, ça va être l'argent initial pour cette nouvelle banque, ça va être dans des milliards. Ça va être des milliards, ça va être des milliards. On va mettre un taux d'intérêt de 10% maximum, ça peut être 3,33, 7,18 ou 4,18 ou 9,3, ça peut être 6,1 ou 4,18 ou quoi que ce soit, mais ça va être maximum de 10%. Maximum de 10%. Fait que ce taux d'intérêt-là, ça va être un taux d'intérêt qui va se faire de maximum 10%. Tout cet argent-là, ça va fonder cette nouvelle banque. On va en fait faire une nouvelle monnaie basée sur les dollars des États-Unis. Ça va s'appeler l'UI. Unité U.E. Unité échange universel. Donc, unité d'échange universel basée sur les États-Unis. Et tout cet argent-là, ça va fonder la nouvelle banque. On va aller boire de l'eau, puis continuer avec la TRD, la refusion de la dette. Donc, toute la dette publique-privée, ma dette de 10 500, votre dette, notre dette, on va faire la conversion en devise des États-Unis, en argent états-unien, avec le peso, le Mexique, la dette publique privée du Mexique. On va mettre tout ça avec les États-Unis, Haïti, les pays du collectif de civilisation nord-américaine, l'Amérique du Nord. De l'Amérique du Nord, la dette publique privée, on va faire la conversion en États-Unis, devise des États-Unis, on va... Tout cet argent-là, ça va être l'argent initial d'une nouvelle banque. Et avec ça, on va mettre un taux d'intérêt de 10%. De 10%, un taux d'intérêt de 10%. Ça peut être 9,3, ça peut être 3,33, ça peut être 7,18, ça peut être 4,18. 4,18, 1%, mais en bas de 10 par principe. Avec cet argent-là, ça va fonder la nouvelle banque, l'argent en circulation UI. Préférence biométrique avec les yeux, la voix, puis les yeux, puis la main, bien sûr, c'est des biométriques indépendantes. Puis bien sûr, ça peut être une devise aussi, comme qu'on a maintenant de la monnaie, puis des billets, là, mais ça a été basé sur les États-Unis. Fait que comme ils ont fait en Europe, on va faire en Amérique du Nord, avec l'UI. L'UI, ça a été égal à l'argent des États-Unis. L'UI, ça a été égal à l'argent des États-Unis. Ça a été tout cet argent-là, l'argent en circulation. Tout cet argent-là, ça a été de l'argent en circulation. On va mettre le taux d'intérêt de 10% maximum. Ça peut être 3,33, 7,18, 4,18, 3,33, 9,3 que ça soit. Et bien sûr, ici, on va faire sur la montagne la devise des États-Unis égale bien sûr la devise des États-Unis. C'est ça que ça va être, c'est ça que ça va être. Et bien sûr, ici sur le Montréal, une chanson pour les pompiers, les infirmiers, les administrateurs, puis la TRD, encore une fois expliqué. Je vais juste prendre une couple de photos ici, pas comme ça. Oui, le gratte-ciel préféré qui est là avec la pyramide, de mon gratte-ciel là, préféré que je vois là, mais avec la pyramide, j'adore ce gratte-ciel qui est là, mais que vous voyez avec la pyramide, je dois saluer les travailleurs en construction, les pompiers, les infirmiers, les boulangers, j'y pense toujours à eux autres, mais toujours comme... Je suis toujours dans... Je suis toujours en méditation 24 sur 24. 24 sur 24, méditation pour les pompiers, les fermiers, puis bien sûr les administrateurs, puis bien sûr tous ceux qui font l'entraînement physique maintenant, l'encourage à en faire, puis on va y aller parce qu'on va être en retard. Fait que je veux pas être en retard pour la meilleure femme au monde, fait qu'on va aller checker le film, fait qu'on va aller faire retour dans ma grotte, puis en saluant les pompiers, les fermiers, puis les boulangers, toujours, je pense, eux autres, dans les pompes, les pompiers, puis tous ceux, bien sûr, qui sont dans l'agriculture, bien sûr, tous ceux qui ont construit les centrales, puis au Québec, ils vont pas bâtir d'autres bâtiments comme ça. Je suis toujours un fan de la construction, des fois sur les grues, tu sais, ils vont bâtir d'autres, puis ah ouais, je vois un aigle, puis ça fait toujours du bien. Mais les ponts, ceux qui ont bâti les ponts, hein, c'est du travail. On a bâti les centrales, mais c'est du travail. Les ponts, les arcs-en-ciel, puis les gratte-ciel, les ponts, puis et ça, c'était quelque chose, ça, pareil. Hein. Puis on va devoir construire d'autres, bien sûr, mais la pyramide qui est là, j'imagine qui l'a construit, bâti, mais on saluant toujours les pompiers, puis l'administrateur, puis bien sûr tous ceux qui font de la production alimentaire, les fermes, les fermiers, puis les pompiers, puis bien sûr c'est du travail, bien sûr, qu'ils font, bien sûr, puis c'est YXYZ, puis regardez ça. Hey, regardez, c'est les rapaces. See, that's the hawks. Trois rapaces, three hawks. Les trois rapaces. See, that's got the hawks. That's the good omen, Get the hawks, yours truly. See, those are hawks. See how they fly? Those are hawks. Hawks right there in the sky. You gotta look up to see. If you don't look up, you're not gonna see them. You're gonna miss them, you know. There's the hawks. There, my hawks at the Hawk Island flying high. There's the hawks flying high. Look at those big hawks, man. They're just hovering high above. Black and white, there you go. You can see them a little bit. Hawk Island Mantra, you can see those hawks, H-A-W-K. Les rapaces qui volent dans les airs. There they go with that FLY. Look at those hawks, beautiful, spread their wings. Les ailes qui sont en haut, puis ils glissent, puis qui s'en viennent vers moi dire bonjour. I know you're above me, I gotta salute. Hawk Island, l'île de rapace. That's that hawk. Look at that hawk, H-A-W-K on the mountain here, that's week. Hey, Rainbow Dragon Rock&Roll, you see the hawk. La rapace vole dans les airs. It's a hawk, it's a hawk, it's a hawk. That's the hawk Island, baby, much. Yeah. On a vu la rapace, mais maintenant on va en discuter encore de la théorie de la refusion de la dette, parce que c'est la seule et unique solution, vu qu'on a la dette maintenant qu'on est rendu. Donc, pour vous l'expliquer encore une fois, avec une petite intermission, puis bien sûr une intermission, puis prendre toute la dette, ma dette en tant que citoyen, 10 500, ma dette, votre dette, notre dette du collectif, et bien sûr sa dette, la dette publique ainsi que privée, puis faire ainsi une refusion bien sûr, ça veut dire qu'on va faire que ma théorie de la refusion de la dette, ça inclut la théorie d'intégration citoyenne, ben, l'intégration monétaire, c'est exactement ce qu'ils ont fait en Europe. Bien sûr, ils ont adopté une monnaie commune, les Européens. Fait que nous, on va faire la même chose, mais avec la TRD, ma théorie de la refusion de la dette, qui inclut, ma théorie, ça inclut la théorie d'intégration monétaire. Et donc, en incluant la théorie d'intégration monétaire, ça inclut cette théorie qui ont implémenté en Europe. Quand ils ont fait les Européens, ils ont enlevé le Deutschmark, le français, en Italie, ils ont laissé français l'italien, puis ils ont laissé faire ces affaires-là, puis ils ont fait l'euro, bien sûr, ils ont fait l'euro, une monnaie commune de l'euro. Okay? Fait qu'ils ont laissé tomber tout ça, ils ont laissé tomber tout le franc, puis ils ont laissé tomber le lira d'Italie, puis bien sûr, ils ont laissé tomber le Deutschmark. Fait qu'ils ont fait une unité commune d'échange, une monnaie qui s'appelle l'euro. Nous autres, on va faire semblant, mais avec la théorie de la refusion de la dette. Donc la TRD, la théorie de la refusion de la dette, bien sûr, c'est ma théorie propre, puis maintenant je vous l'expliquer encore une fois. La théorie de la refusion de la dette, c'est prendre toute la dette publique-privée, ma dette en tant que citoyen, 10 500, 10 500, 10 500, 10 500, 10 500, 10 500, c'est 10 500. Donc, ma dette, votre dette, notre dette, ma dette à moi-même, de 10 500, votre dette, ma dette et votre dette, prendre tout ça ensemble, fait qu'on va ramasser de la dette côte à côte des États-Unis, du Canada et du Québec. On va faire le ramassage, on va faire la dette, la refusion de la dette, la TRD. L'implémentation de la TRD, c'est la seule solution, mes chers Québécois et Québécoises, pour s'en sortir de qu'on est rendu avec les finances. Puis, je voulais essayer de vous expliquer simplement. Mais les Aspergers, nous, les Aspis, on a tendance d'utiliser des fois des mots qu'on n'a pas besoin. Puis venez regarder ici, il y a des nids de poules. Fait que faites attention si vous passez par ici pour ne pas vous mettez dans le nid de poule, puis vous tombez, puis vous fassiez mal. Fait que la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, c'est celle-là. Prendre toute la dette publique-privée, faire la conversion, parce que la devise des années, c'est le numéro 1 encore dans le monde, pour les échanges du monde, finances internationales, blablabla. Toute la dette publique-privée du Canada, des dollars canadiens, fait la conversion en dollars des États-Unis, du Mexique et du peso, fait la conversion des États-Unis, d'Haïti, la Gourde, ainsi que tous les pays de l'Amérique du Nord. Tout cet argent-là, de la dette publique-privée, ça a fondé l'argent initial en circulation de cette nouvelle banque nord-américaine, comme ils ont fait avec la banque en Europe, parce qu'ils étaient aussi en Europe, pour faire l'euro, ils ont créé une nouvelle banque. Ils ont créé une nouvelle banque, ils ont créé une nouvelle banque, bien sûr. Ils ont créé une nouvelle banque. Anyways, fait que prendre toute la dette publique-privée, tout cet argent-là, ça va être une refusion de tout l'argent. Ça va être la dette publique-privée, ça va être l'argent en circulation de cette nouvelle banque, qui va être une devise qui s'appelait l'UI. unité, échange universel, parce que c'est ça l'argent fondamentalement. C'est pour acheter puis vendre, c'est une unité d'échange. Ça va être basé, l'UI, sur le dollar américain. Tout l'argent de la dette publique-privée, ça va être de l'argent en circulation. Fait que toute la dette publique, ça va être l'argent en circulation. Toute la dette publique, ça va être tout l'argent en circulation de cette nouvelle monnaie qui va circuler, que ça va s'appeler Louis. On va mettre un taux d'intérêt de 10%. 10%, 10% maximum, ça peut être 9,3, 7,70, 3,33, 7,18, 4,18. Puis on va créer une monnaie pour l'Amérique du Nord comme qu'ils ont fait en Europe, comme qu'ils ont fait en Europe, comme qu'ils ont fait dans l'Union européenne, dans l'Union européenne. Ils l'ont fait là-bas, on peut le faire ici, puis de même mieux avec la TRD, la théorie de la réfusion de la dette. On va mettre un taux d'intérêt pour 10% max. Avec tout cet argent-là, on va pouvoir fonder deux institutions, l'armée du dragon de défense puis de sécurité intégrée avec toutes les forces qui existent de sécurité puis de service pour la défense seulement côte à côte en Amérique du Nord, puis avec l'OTAN seulement. Défense. Seulement. Défense. Et bien sûr avec défense, seulement de défense. Et seulement de défense. Donc, pour le collectif de civilisation nord-américain, de défense. Fait que tout cet événement-là de défense, et de service et de sécurité. Fait que tout le de service, puis de sécurité, puis de défense de côte à côte, et that's all Rock&Roll pour que ça fasse. Mais de service, puis de défense seulement. L'armée du dragon, le partenariat public-privé, puis on va pouvoir, avec tout cet argent-là, réparer les parcs publics, l'infrastructure publique, bâtir plus de rails dans les 7 prochaines années, bâtir plus de rails, des rails de train, on va pouvoir faire des trains, jusqu'au Mexique électrique. On va pouvoir bâtir des trains électriques jusqu'au Mexique. Puis on va pouvoir, bien sûr, rebâtir les parcs, les autoroutes, les nids de poules, bâtir d'autres centrales, puis créer, avec l'armée du dragon, de partenariat public-privé, on va pouvoir faire une autre institution. Ça va être l'armée de la déesse qui danse pour l'environnement, le nettoyage de l'environnement, puis les océans, le nettoyage de l'environnement, puis l'océan, le nettoyage de l'environnement, puis l'océan, le nettoyage de l'environnement, puis de l'océan. C'est ça qu'on va faire. C'est super important. On va pouvoir financer aussi les citoyens à faire de l'entraînement physique. On va pouvoir financer aussi les citoyens à faire de l'entraînement physique aussi. On va pouvoir financer les citoyens à faire de l'entraînement physique aussi par l'armée du dragon de partenariat public-privé. Puis c'est ça le rêve en grosse partie, le rêve de votre dragon arc-en-ciel, bien sûr. Puis quand je dis soutenez le rêve, c'est fondamentalement un appel pour un partenariat public-privé, fondamentalement un appel pour un PPP, un partenariat public-privé, qui est fondamentalement, quand on dit mon rêve, l'armée de la déesse, le royaume, l'empire de la déesse et du dragon qui danse, que je fonde avec des milliards de bisous premièrement. C'est fondamentalement ça. Donc la théorie de la révision de la dette, mes chers, il n'y a pas d'autre situation, il n'y a pas d'autre solution à ça. Où qu'on est rendu avec les finances publiques, vous avez vu combien on paye d'intérêt, mais il faut qu'on lance avec les solutions. C'est quoi ma solution? Ils n'ont pas de solution. Hein? Pas de solution. Ma solution pour moi, c'est avoir l'Asperger's, c'est gérer mes symptômes parce qu'il n'y a pas de médicaments. Et bien sûr, un peu de l'agression, on fait de l'entraînement physique. Parce que j'en ai de l'agression, on fait de l'entraînement physique. Ça me donne la joie quand je vois des coupes. Se tenir par la main, les bisous, les câlins, vous faites bien. Vous faites de l'entraînement physique, vous faites bien. J'entends la charité qui se fait donner par les Wall Street, le millionnaire, mais ça fait du bien. Bonne chose. Super important. Faire de l'entraînement physique. Encourager les gens, soutenir. Voir les jeunes, les enfants qui font des pompes, encourager-les qu'ils fassent d'autres pompes. Ils font une pirouette, encourager-les qu'ils fassent une autre. Voir qu'ils fassent. C'est important. Tu sais, c'est l'agression. Moi aussi, j'en ai l'agression, mais je m'entraîne, mes chers. Je fais l'entraînement physique, je fais la marche ici. Dans la nature, je me sens déjà mieux. J'ai souffert, j'ai vécu, j'ai toujours besoin d'un câlin. Un prêt à donner puis à recevoir. Puis à donner des câlins. Puis à recevoir puis à donner, c'est super important. Quotidien, puis une beauté ici sur l'île de Montréal, à Montréal, puis le lac, bien sûr, puis les poissons, puis super important. Je me sens toujours bien, tu sais, quand je viens ici. des gens qui s'entraînent. C'est super important. Fait que là, j'ai pas une grosse affaire parce que là, je dois me diriger chez nous parce que j'ai reçu un texte de la meilleure femme au monde. Je dis oui pour le film. Donc, je dois m'en aller. Je dois m'en aller. Je dois être de retour. Il y a de la glace, encore de la neige. Il y a encore de la neige ici. Hein? Il y a encore de la neige. La neige. Encore de la neige, man. Oh, la neige a dure, hein? On est en avril, c'est possible qu'il y ait encore quand même. La neige, mais c'est possible qu'il y en ait encore. C'est pas exclu qu'il n'y en ait pas. Anyways, la TRD, théorie de la refusion de la dette, avec du Rock&Roll, il faut faire l'implémentation. Il n'y a pas d'autre solution. On est rendu avec les dettes publiques. C'est ça, je fais appel à tous. Et tout le monde veut soutenir, tu sais. Un gros soutien. Le partenariat public-privé, hein, un PPP. Le royaume de la dette, c'est du royaume qui danse. Que cause, c'est de ma famille, mais on est dysfonctionnel, tu sais. Dysfonctionnel, moi aussi. Je suis pas sans défaut. Hein. J'ai l'Asperger, j'ai souffert beaucoup. J'étais en dépression suicidaire. J'ai traversé le Canada, mais cet événement, ça m'a fait sortir de la dépression. C'est bien sûr, les temps sont durs, oui. Les temps sont durs. J'ai survécu la COVID. Hein. J'étais mort. Je traînais sur l'île de Montréal. Je suis mort. J'étais en train de traîner sur l'île de Montréal. Tu sais. Je suis pas parfait loin de là, ici. Loin, mais avec toutes les imperfections, je peux vous dire que c'est la seule solution qui existe en ce moment. Il n'y a pas d'autre solution. Hein. S'il vous plaît, ne laissez pas des vidanges. Hein. Ne laissez pas des vidanges. Mettez ça dans le recyclage. C'est un gros sac comme ça. Là. Un gros sac comme ça. Ça ne me dérange pas que vous mangez, vous voyez. Sur les 3 flèches, on peut le recycler celle-là, sur les 3 flèches. Recyclable, compostable, biodégradable, 100% réusable. Vous pouvez même l'utiliser encore. Recyclable, compostable, biodégradable, réusable. C'est que, hey, laissez pas les choses comme ça va tuer un lapin. Ça, imagine le lapin, il va dedans, il mange. Le lapin, la marmotte, l'écureuil. So please, see, this one is recyclable. This one is, of course, compostable, biodegradable also. So in theory, I could have let it because it's compostable. But what if it doesn't compost on time? What if it gets eaten? Right? It could have gotten eaten. Could have got eaten by the birds, by whatever the case may be. By the rabbit. It might compost in a few months, but it's better to not, because if it would have eaten it, maybe it would have got sick. It's compostable, biodegradable. So in theory, now that I see the fleshes, in theory I could have let it there, right? In theory. But, see, what if it's too big to leave it like that? You gotta put it in a proper biodegradable, dans un propre compostable, parce que, ouais, je viens de voir, c'est compostable, biodégradable, fait que ça va pas nuire vraiment à l'environnement, mais c'est tellement gros que ça peut englober un écureuil. Si l'écureuil va dedans, il s'est tombé, il sort plus. What if before it composts, a squirrel can get killed, a rabbit can get killed. It's so built that un lapin peut se faire tuer, une marmotte aussi, tu sais. Quand même bon, il n'y a pas de déchets, il n'y a pas de... C'est pas... It's not dirty, c'est pas sale. Fait que je vais le composter, je vais l'utiliser pour le compostage chez nous. I'm gonna use it for compost at home. Je vais l'utiliser pour mon propre compostage de moi-même. Fait que je vais garder puis faire le compostage moi-même. Fait que là, il faut que je me dirige. Quelle heure qu'il est? What time is it? It's time for me to get that drill started a little bit on the jog. What time is it? Yeah, it's time for me to get it on the drill, man. I want to get back home in time, you know. Je vais de retour. I want to get back in time, so gotta get that drill 24/7, you know. You rock and roll. Butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, firefighters. We're gonna go back west. On est de retour vers l'ouest. Faut qu'on soit de retour. Just gonna check that time. What's the time on the clock, you know? So gotta get it on that speed up, you know. Oh yeah, it's close to 5, eh? So gonna get it on that hurry, man. Gotta get it on that jog. Je vais devoir faire quand même un peu de jogging. I'm gonna go through here. It's kind of a shortcut, but it's really not. See, I see more. See, I gotta do a big cleaning with somebody. Need some volunteers. Je dois faire un gros nettoyage avec des bénévoles, bien sûr. I gotta do a little bit of volunteering to do a little bit of cleaning, you know. Little bit of cleaning. So it's gotta take a little bit of blah, 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 you know. A little bit of blah blah blah. Oh shit. So super important. Grateful, thankful, rent paid, electricity bills paid, got food, and see you got another can there, you know. Cans, and important to not leave the cans, man. Gotta recycle those, brothers. I don't mind y'all drinking here, looking at the other mountain, but please, please, please don't leave the cans here. Ne laissez pas des canettes ici, s'il vous plaît. Ça ne dérange pas que vous buvez, là. I don't mind y'all drinking. Y'all drinking, but please. Please, please, please. Recycle if it's recyclable. Put it in the garbage if it goes in the garbage. Don't trash, because we got squirrels, flora, fauna, rabbits, on a des lapins, la flore, puis la faune, des écureuils, puis des marmottes, puis des oiseaux. It's a place of preservation of nature here, Mount Royal. C'est une place pour la préservation de la nature ici, le Mont Royal. I'm gonna... So see, this probably saved a rabbit or so. J'ai sauvé un lapin avec ça. I don't mind y'all drinking, but you left the cans here, and it seems like they're from today, so it's gotta be recycled. Il faut que ça soit mis au recyclage, s'il vous plaît. So now I really gotta go jog, man, because I don't want to be late. Got an hour, maybe 75 minutes, j'ai une heure, 115 minutes, so gotta get on that jog, man. Je dois faire du jogging, so we're gonna see it. Gonna go down, and that's it. That's all for here, because I still gotta jog back home. So jogging with the laptop is more difficult. Faire jogging avec l'ordinateur portable, ça va être plus difficile. So we gotta get it on the jog. So gotta stop it right there at the corner, you know. So I'm just gonna recycle these and put this backpack in, and that's about it. How we drill, man. How we drill, you know. So. Anybody want to finance? I go up and down these stairs. Quelqu'un veut financer? Ben, que je descends puis je monte ces escaliers 300 fois, 300 times. $300, 300 fois. 300 times. 300 fois, 300 times. Oh, there's a recycling there, so I can recycle it right there, see? Want to go for a little jog with yours truly? A little bit on that something. See, we got the recycling right there. That's where you should put it in the recycling, see? C'est là que ça va, ça, les trois flèches du recyclage. Thank you, Public Works, see? This is the recycling, man. And we put one and the second one. And I gotta wash my hands, because I touched it, I don't know who touched it, so I got that disinfectant in my backpack. I always wash my hands when I get back home, of course, with that soap, and avec du savon quand je retourne, bien sûr, and gotta get it on the drill, man. Going back to headquarters, baby. Going west. Gotta wait for the light. Grateful, thankful, rent paid, electricity bills paid, got food and coffee. Seeing my fellow citizens do a little bit of jog always brings me some joy. Always brings me a bit of joy, and watching a little bit of athletics. Always enjoy it. I see people working out, good fitness, good jog, and got inspired by my fellow citizen jogging that I'm gonna do a little bit of jog going back. There it is, it's my time to jog, and there we go on the jog. getting me some jog. I got 12 seconds, 11. I'm not gonna rush it. I'm not gonna rush and I'm gonna wait, be patient. Je vais pas courir, je vais avoir la patience parce que sinon peut-être ça aurait été un tournage, ça aurait été pas si bon. Mais anyways, going back now to my headquarters, thinking about everything that's going on, public services and public roads, the butchers, the bakers, the truckers, the nurses, the doctors, kindergarten, schools at all levels of civilizational complex. Je suis en train de faire une méditation à tous les niveaux de la civilisation, du complexe de civilisation, avec une méditation bien sûr dans les garderies jusqu'aux pompiers, puis jusqu'à ceux qui sont les gratte-ciels qui sont en train de bâtir avec des grues, puis les travailleurs en construction, puis j'en fais bien sûr du rock-and-roll, ici bien sûr dans le soleil, puis là c'est mon papa qui se lève puis se couche, puis on va faire une course pour s'en aller bien sûr chez nous. C'était à peu près 7,7 km de chez nous jusqu'à ici. It's about 7.7 kilometers, and if I jog, I want to get there on time, but I do got to get that pizza. Je dois acheter la pizza, on the budget, on the special, so I got to get that drill. So we're going to jog, and we're going to stop right off because it's like 5 o'clock. What time is it? Don't want to check the time too much, don't want to be stressed too much by the time, but it's 5:03, 5h03, so if I jog, I'm going to be able to get there on time, I guess. Si je fais du jogging, mais je vais arriver à temps. Because now I just got to drill it. And jogging with the laptop, my work tool is not that comfortable. I don't got a GoPro budgeting, but I'm rich in other things, although financially stressed. Je suis riche dans d'autres choses, même si, bien sûr, l'aide financière, puis le protocole, blablabla. It's my time. Yeah. I'm not gonna take the 66 bucks, bus 66, le autobus 66. Hey, 44, 44. That's too high. You gotta lower that speed. So you got that speed, man. Gotta lower the speed. So jog and stop. On fait du jogging, on s'arrête, on court. On jog, on s'arrête. We jog, we stop. That's how it's gonna be this drill, you know. As I go west now. Al west. Andy Ramsey, my anonymous sister friend, deserves to have 7 houses. Turn your heads left and right before you cross the street. On tourne la tête de la gauche à droite avant qu'on traverse, and put a little bit of kick. Or just power walk. If I power walk, maybe best. Marche puissance peut-être mieux. Hey, play that music, I got those dance steps. Throw that DJ. Pour l'armée de la déesse qui danse, blah blah blah. Gotta get it on the drill. But I mean boots. It's gotta work boots. Des bottes de travail quand même, fait que c'est pas la préférence, you know, so gotta keep that in mind. It's gotten hotter, man. God, hot, H-O-T. Fait chaud, mais chaud pour le printemps, je veux dire. Hot for the spring, I mean, for today, April 9th. It might be above average. Je pense qu'aujourd'hui, c'est en haut de la moyenne. Salut! Oh, my anonymous sister friend deserves any house on either side here where the bus 66 goes, ma soeur anonyme. Elle mérite d'avoir bien sûr une maison d'un côté ou de l'autre, ou des deux côtés, des deux bords, où que l'autobus 66 passe. I gotta salute the firefighters love you, ambulance drivers. Somebody gotta love our public security, Canadian Armed Forces, that pop also. Quelqu'un faut qu'il aime aussi nos forces de sécurité, aux ambulanciers aussi. You know, make love good loving and work out, stay fit. And fais de l'entraînement physique, puis super important de faire de l'entraînement physique, you know. Super important to get that fitness and work out, and sun always helps. Le soleil, ça aide toujours, puis d'une manière, le pape, le soleil, you know, was good. Of course, you gotta put some cream. Faut que vous mettez de la crème quand même. See the bus 66 south, l'autobus 66 sud, so thought I was gonna make it. Now it's red now, gotta be patient. Là c'est rouge, je dois être patient. Green, vert. Still gotta wait. Now it's green for me. Maintenant c'est vert pour moi-même. That house will be great. Half for me, half for my sister. Cette maison-là, rouge, je can paint half. Green, on va pouvoir peinturer la moitié vert pour moi-même puis pour ma soeur. Ah oui, Céline, let's go Oprah, Beyoncé, Taylor Swift. If I make a million, I'm gonna give half 50%. Blah blah blah, all that blah blah blah. Put some steps, give some hugs, give some pushes, do some push-ups, blah blah blah. Tout ça blah blah blah. Go clean the mountain, nettoyer la montagne. Takes doing as well, eh? Ça prend des choses pour en faire aussi, mais ça prend pour faire aussi. La philosophie, c'est bien beau, mais il faut prendre l'action aussi. Philosophy, it's all good, but it's got to be implemented or taken action, eh? Or this house, cette maison aussi. Half for me, half for my sister. Moitié pour moi, moitié pour ma soeur. Anonymous. Blah, blah, blah. 24/7. Westmount, Argyle. Rock and roll butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors. Firefighters, big loving. Train conductors, thinking about everything that's going on now across North America. See here, I can get that jog a little bit. Toujours la méditation, qu'est-ce qui se passe à travers l'Amérique du Nord, avec du jogging. Gonna get a little bit of that jog, a little bit of that jog, a little bit of that jog, you know. So we gotta get that jog, man. Gotta get that jog, man. Turn my head left and right before I cross the street. Je dois tourner ma tête de la gauche à droite avant que je traverse. Super important. Super important. Here on the boulevard, le boulevard. Ah. Bit of jogging, man. Jogging. Jogging some more. Plus de jogging. Jogging some more, man. Let's go. Step, step, step. See, that clock, it seemed like it changed by 7 minutes. It was always exactly 7. L'horloge là-bas, c'était toujours 7 exactement. Mais là, on dirait que ça a avancé pour 7 minutes. Unless it was some due to meteorological conditions. Peut-être à cause du vent ou des conditions météorologiques, mais je suis pas sûr, je sais pas 100%, mais c'est intéressant. See? Gotta get those steps, man. It's overtime, every time workout. C'est l'entraînement en temps supplémentaire à tous les fois, à chaque fois. Mais... Hey, give me that house, give my anonymous sister friend the other one. Vice versa. One on each side. What time it is? Even if I check the time or not, maybe best to just keep marching, jogging. Même si je regarde là, ben, je continue à faire du jogging, puis faire la marche. Fait que that's about it, man. That's it, rock and roll with it. You know? It's a rock and roll. Step, 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 you know.
Belmont Westmount, Westmount Belmont. Turn my head left and right. Attends, on tourne la tête de la gauche à droite avant qu'on traverse. What a very sunny day, man. Vraiment ensoleillé aujourd'hui. 8 avril, 8th of April. Auctioning this for $1 million. Give half to my anonymous sister friend, je vends ça pour $1 million. Donnez la moitié à mon soeur anonyme, let's go. Turn my head left and right and jog. Tourne la tête de la gauche à droite. Make sure that citizen doesn't turn to my way. Safely to cross. Up we go. Jog, jog, jog. Gotta get that jog, man. Jogging. This is like a bike path here, but you got joggers on it, see? Fellow citizens jogging, salute. Là, du monde font du jogging. Sur la piste cyclable, ben, on fait un compromis, we do a compromise. Stop, we run. On arrête, on court. Turn the head left and right. Tourne la tête de la gauche à droite. Super important, man. Super important. Saluting the butchers, the bakers, the nurses, the doctors, firefighters, grocery store clerks. The helicopter chopper en saluant les pompiers, les fermiers, les bouchers, les boucheries, ceux qui font la production alimentaire. On va attendre pour la lumière, we're gonna wait. 16 seconds. Let's get it for the drill. 16 seconds. On attend pour le drill, man. Gotta get it for the drill, man. Gotta get it for that drill, man. Ah. Great day to work out, man. Starting spring good. Fitness journey starts today. Session d'entraînement physique, mais ça commence aujourd'hui, you know. So get that joy a little bit, you know. Joyous. A little bit of vigor, vigor, vigueur. Vigueur, c'est vigor. Sun got more than me by a lot. I'm just a piece of dust. Je suis juste la poussière, mais le soleil, ça a plus de vigueur que moi-même. Le pape, le pope, hey. We're just passerbys in my Pope's kingdom, eh? All of us. On passe à travers le royaume du soleil, man. I wonder what's the sun's real name. Now, of course, it's mystical, mais c'est mystique, mais c'est quoi le vrai nom du soleil? Parce que, tu sais, soleil, on dit en français, on dit en anglais sun, mais it doesn't take any from the attributes of the sun, raising the powers and the forces, the light, the fire that it constitutes. Ça n'enlève rien. Qu'est-ce que ça constitue? N'importe quel changement du nom, hein? Du soleil, c'est encore la même. Les attributs de force, puis de lumière, puis changement des saisons, puis
C'est mon pub, that's my pub. No, always rise, always set. Se lève puis se couche à tous les fois. And I really love the building here. Would like a little bit more color in it. J'aime plus de couleur dedans, mais I still forgot to check whether they're Ionic, Doric, or Corinthian. Ionic, Doric, or Corinthian. Ionic, Doric, or Corinthian. Those pillars, les piliers, mais j'ai oublié à regarder si c'est Ionique, Doric, ou Corinthien, or Greco-Romain, Greco-Roman. So I like pillars like that, like those pillars. Les piliers comme ça, like, I got a pillar fetish, if you will. Pas un pilier comme ça, mais je trouve ça beau. Puis I like the aesthetics, you know. Esthétique, du point de vue esthétique en parlant. J'aime ça, you know, so that's where you gotta get it, so I gotta get drills, man, you know. Ah, feels good, man. Getting thirsty! Commence à avoir soif. Thirsty, soif. I'm thirsty, j'ai soif. Commence, j'ai bu quand même. I hydrated a lot, twice, 2 big times I think, eh? 3 times? 3 fois? 2 fois?
I gotta speed it up now. The youth, salute the youth. On salue la jeunesse. Sing a good song, man. I love the youth. I love the youth. I love the youth. La jeunesse. So we gotta end it soon because turn my head left and right across the street. Gotta go get that pizzas. Pizza en spécial, pizza en spécial, pizza en spécial. So gonna have to run for it. Be there by on time. So. Grateful, thankful, rent's paid, electricity bills paid, got food and coffee, and anyways, it's about to end, so I think I'm gonna be good just until I get there. Je pense que without time for my rendement. Gotta get it, man. Gotta get on that speed, but right now, for now, until I buy the pizzas, I think it's best if I don't jog. Jusqu'à quand j'achète les pizzas, mais je pense que c'est mieux si je fais pas de jogging. Tourne ma tête de gauche à droite. Turn my head left and right. Make sure. Cross safely, you know. So. Nice park, man.
Thank you.
Nice park here. They embellish some as built. So it's gonna salute those public works, you know. They did a little bit of drilling with that, so it's always overtime. So.
7 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 just in time. So here we are, man. I'm gonna put it in the backpack and gonna go try to get that pizza, man, you know. Grateful, thankful, rent, spade, electricity bills, pay, got food and coffee. Gonna get for that drill. So it's been an overtime every time, you know the drill with the rainbow dragon, overtime every time. Working out, training, exercising, has-beenism will be my medicine and therapy of choice. Time to get some of these out and gonna get it, gonna go for the drill, rainbow dragon, rock and roll overtime. Thank you farmers, butchers, bakers, rent, spade, electricity bill, spade, got food, got coffee, rock and roll overtime. Let's go, get ready. Switch a little bit and gonna put it inside right here and gonna go get that pizza, have movie night. Grateful, thankful, rent, spade, electricity bill, spade.